Wagwan. Why amount of things we have to talk about in the day? Whole heap of news. The title is the main thing, but I hope I am able to cover everything that is actually going on. You understand? I hope all is well with everybody. Give me a second, my people. Forgive me for being disorganized. Please forgive me. Alright? I should be more organized, yes? I guess I started late because Shernet come and drop a comment and gone. I wonder if Shernet coming back now. How you guys doing? Hello. Thank you for hitting the like button, guys, as you come on in. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Miss Curiosity Kid, how are you? Wow, there's so much going on. You know what? Let me just go straight to Miss Lonesome. No. More cover this first. Hey, yeah. Mighty God. Let me cover this first. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other day, Babsy Grange came out. There was an article, Babsy Grange, saying that the PMP is so violent. Now, in the said article, when she said that, there was something that she said in the end that I found majorly contradictory, you know. But I want to go to Asha 11, right? I want to go to Asha 11 audio that was played, and that was Patricia, how you doing, love? Asha 11 audio that was played on Talk Your Mind TV. I big up Talk Your Mind TV. We can't wait for your forward back in a bridging because, man, tell you, we need it in the space. But before I go to that, just a public service announcement. The Ministry of Health, ladies and gentlemen, alright? Like I read this article here because it's very, very serious. The Ministry of Health is warning against 2 unregulated sex enhancement products. The man them will love use them something there. In Jesus' name, don't buy this online, yeah? The Minister of Health and Wellness is warning Jamaica not to purchase or use 3 unregulated sex enhancement products, 3 of them, currently being sold online and through informal vendors across the island. The products are Bull Extreme, Black Bull Extreme, Erectemax box, and Royal Honey. No, so make we hear the audio. Dr. Sean Moncrief is the Chief Technical Director of the Standards of Regulations Division in the ministry. All right, listen to this.
The products Black Bull Extreme, Erectemac, and Royal Honey, which contain undeclared pharmaceutical ingredients, are primarily sold online and through informal vendors. This advice follows alerts issued by the United States Food and Drug Administration, which confirmed through laboratory analysis that the products contained undeclared pharmaceutical ingredients. These undeclared ingredients may cause harmful health effects, especially in individuals with underlying medical conditions or those taking prescription medications.
So, when you hear that, you see the other thing. Play it again. Play it again.
The products Black Bull Extreme, Erectimac, and Royal Honey, which contain undeclared pharmaceutical ingredients, are primarily sold online and through informal vendors. This advice follows alerts issued by the United States Food and Drug Administration, which confirmed through laboratory analysis that the products contained undeclared pharmaceutical ingredients. These undeclared ingredients may cause harmful health effects, especially in individuals with underlying medical conditions or those taking prescription medications.
So you hear that? Yeah, so I never hear them. Now, we just go through the news a little bit. Political ombudsman remain vigilant. Yo. Yo, who came up with this? The political ombudsman remains vigilant as election campaign intensifies. Then why hasn't there anything been done about all the posters of the PMP that has been taken down by the JLP warriors them? Portland and everywhere. People poster get taken down. Who is the political ombudsman, by the way? How vigilant can you be when all of this is happening and there's no sanctions for it? I can't make this up. I cannot make this up. It says here the office of the political ombudsman says it's maintaining a watchful eye on the conduct of political parties and candidates as campaign intensifies ahead of the general election. In a statement on Wednesday, the ombudsman says it's taking note of flags, display boards, and other paraphernalia erected, as well as public utterances from political actors. The comments follow the recent controversy surrounding Southwest St. Catherine MP Everett Warmington. On Sunday, Warmington uttered several curse words on a political platform in Central Westmoreland. The Ombudsman Office said it has been in dialogue with the General Secretaries in the two political major parties regarding complaints against their members. It says it has received 8 such complaints since March. It says they are being actively investigated. All right. That's what them say. No, ladies and gentlemen, this not have nothing to do with politics. But I'm telling you, this is amazing. Dad and daughter reportedly rescued after they went overboard on a cruise. I think it was Disney. Listen to this. 1 minute clip. Listen to this.
Oh, it's right there. They got there.
I just have to play it from the thread. The thread has a better
look at my video.
report of it.
Do you see them?
Yeah, look.
I got to
See the video.
The doctor, where it says AI. Nobody say political ombudsman is an AI movie. Where it say has to be.
I think you did say that.
Wow.
That's the
So I'm going to do it to hear the story.
Oh my God.
This is them rescuing the child and the father. I'm going to tell you why. You're going to understand why they needed rescue. So let me play this real quick.
I think any father that loves their family would do that, yes, and that was a very heroic, thing that he did.
I saw the mother crying, but when they rescued them, I think that's when the tears really started flowing because you were just so overjoyed knowing, and I prayed to God to save them, and he did. So, yes, it was a happy ending.
This all happened Sunday afternoon as a cruise ship was on its way back to Fort Lauderdale from the Bahamas.
We were on the ship, and we heard the words MOB, and we followed everybody to the side of the ship to watch.
Cell phone video from one of the passengers shows the father and daughter holding on to each other, treading water in the middle of the ocean until rescue crews arrived.
It was very fast, incredibly safe, and the crew deserves all the accolades.
According to the crew, Disney Dream passengers reacting after witnessing a father jump into the ocean to save his little girl.
I think any father that loves their family would do that.
You know, men always get a beating, you know. Always get a beating. We always get, you know, all of the blame and everything. Just when it comes also magnifying and highlighting the bad things about men, this world is very good at it. But look at that man, without hesitation, jumping from a cruise ship to go and save his daughter. Man, shout out to you, sir. You represent what men are all about, you know. And I hope that you are giving the praise that you deserve. You know, they praise mothers for being mothers. But when men do men things, they say, oh, that's what you're supposed to do. You don't really get any praise. Big up yourself playing truth. You know, they play down our roles in society. But big up that father. Anyway, moving on. Yes, so Babsy Grange, I hear a time now. Let's move to the Babsy Grange story, ladies and gentlemen, because as I said, before I go to Babsy Grange, one more thing. May I fit everything in? One more thing. Mighty God of Daniel, Nikisha Burchell had this to say about Andrew and his government. Want to listen? Why is it not? Oh, it's the audio. Okay.
Keisha Burchell, the opposition spokesperson.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
This is Nikisha Burchell, the opposition spokesperson on information and public communication. Today, the PNP is calling out the Prime Minister and his administration for the blatant misuse of taxpayer money on partisan political propaganda.
When I hear this?
Across radio, television, we're seeing campaign-style advertisements paid for by the government ministries, including the Office of the Prime Minister, the Ministry of Health, and the Ministry of Local Government.
Embarrassing!
We need some milk!
Unit.
This is Nikisha Burchell, the opposition spokesperson on information and public communication. Today, the PNP is calling out the Prime Minister and his administration for the blatant misuse of taxpayer money on partisan political propaganda. Across radio, television, we're seeing campaign-style advertisements paid for by the government ministries, including the Office of the Prime Minister, the Ministry of Health, and the Ministry of Local Government. These are not public service messages. They are thinly veiled political ads meant to boost the Jamaica Labour Party using public funds. This is not just unethical, it is corruption in plain sight. It is estimated that billions of taxpayers' dollars are being diverted to this campaign, yet public sector workers are still waiting on retroactive payments, uniform allowances, and salary increases. Pensioners are waiting. Hospitals are short on basic supplies, and while Jamaicans suffer, this government is spending freely to promote themselves and cling to power, all sponsored by the public purse. The lines have been dangerously blurred between government service and the party promotion. Ministries exist to serve the people, not to serve the JLP's re-election efforts. Since this government refuses to exercise ethical restraint, we are demanding accountability. The PNP is calling for an immediate audit to determine just how much public money has been spent on these campaign ads, and we're calling for it to stop. Enough is enough. Public funds must be used to serve the people, not bankroll political gain. Jamaicans deserve real leadership, not propaganda, not PR, not photo ops sponsored by the people. They deserve better. Not public service messages. They are thinly veiled political ads meant to boost the Jamaican propaganda. Across radio, television, we're seeing campaign-style advertisements paid for by the government ministries, including the Office of the Prime Minister, the Ministry of Health, and the Ministry of Local Government. These are not public service messages. They are thinly veiled political ads meant to boost the Jamaica Labour Party using public funds. This is not just unethical, it is corruption in plain sight. It is estimated that billions of taxpayers' dollars are being diverted to this campaign, yet public sector workers are still waiting on retroactive payments, uniform allowances, and salary increases. Pensioners are waiting. Hospitals are short on basic supplies, and while Jamaicans suffer, this government is spending freely to promote themselves to power, all sponsored by the public purse.
Now, I want to pause it right there. Why do people have a problem with people eating their food online? Why they chose them come out for some things, you see? Anyway, I really don't care, actually. The point is this. What Nikisha Burchell is raising needs to be investigated thoroughly. That audit needs to be done immediately. So you're telling me that allegedly, Andrew Holness government is using our tax dollars to push ads. Billions of dollars estimated to push ads to get to the minds of the people. You remember when he said that? We need to capture the minds of the people, something to that effect. So they're putting out ads to spread their propaganda about how well they have done. Meanwhile, the reality is that the healthcare, the midwives are on strike. The police are restive. They haven't gotten their extra money. The roads are terrible. 24 babies died in a month at Jubilee Hospital. A $31 million drill that cost $6 million was bought. So much things. Some old buses came here. That is Daryl Vaz's wife's bestie company. That was the one that was giving the procurement for that contract. And they're spending these billions of dollars where the money could be going to paying the people their money that they have been owed how long. But yet still, we continue. The labor rights don't see anything wrong with what Andrew Holness is doing. They don't see anything unethical about this process of using the purse allegedly to advertise so they can stay in power. It's funny. It's funny how they say that the PNP is hungry for power, but they fail to admit how hungry the JLP is in keeping the power that they already have. Nobody wants to admit that, to the point where we're seeing this type of nonsense going on right here. But I won't belabor the point. Nikisha Burchell said it all. Let's go to the next clip, ladies and gentlemen, of the general himself, Asha 11, let's set in the record straight with the utterances that Babsy Grange made about the PNP being violent. You cannot make this up. Yo, when I saw that comment, I said, this lady is out of her rocker. Listen, I'm not a political stalwart, but the rumors that is in the street about Babsy Grange, up to the other day, I heard a group of people talking about her and her connections in certain places and who she talked to and how she loved this and type of things that she involved in. Regular Jamaican people upon the corner have a conversation about Babsy Grange, and it was not flattering. It was some dangerous allegations, and I've heard more dangerous allegations about her over the years. So when she came and said that the PNP is violent, I'm like, lady, do you know your history in the streets? Do you know what people are saying about you in the streets? It's married and marinated in violence. Your history in the streets, what people say about you, Babsy Grange. Not me, no. I don't know nothing about you. But the people in the streets that I have heard talk about Babsy Grange, the many people over the years, is married in violence, marinated, soaked in violence, dripping in violence. So, you know, it was very strange. But let's hear what Asha 11 got to say, ladies and gentlemen.
As the Jamaican people, you know, steer far from this thing and look who them want target. When you look on the people them when they want target, the people them who nothing and go on for. And them the people they want shopping and their needs. For them data they want sell to whoever they want sell it to. You know, steer far from this corrupted government. You know, steer Jamaican people, you know, steer far from this corrupted government. Make them keep them 20,000 grand. This is a trick. And 1.5, 20,000 grand. I'm thinking, remember, you sleep up 7 months, 7 much time. My year can get shoot up to. Remember, you sleep at prison board for 7 months. You're at prison for prison board. 7 months, you would have prison for Babsy Grange. I'm going to talk about. You come like you're senile. Your head must say I take you. Anyway, I want to hear this from Asha.
Big up yourself, talk your mind and talk about the press, big up yourself. But Babsy Grange, I talk about PNP is one of the most violent set of people in Jamaica. Well, let I tell him something. Make I remind her something. You remember that the way how did violent and the amount of crime that was committing in the 70s, Michael Manley did have to call a state of emergency because that's the only way he could get power. For detain, you know. Remember, you know, him have to detain.
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
70s, Michael Manley did have to call a state of emergency because that's the only way he could get power. For detain, you know. Remember, you know, him have to detain, you know, to cool down the shooting in Jamaica. You and Pernell George. Make Asha 11 remind you. Because you look like you're not a member. You want to come tell the little youth them now and the undecided voter youth them now, like say PNP a warrior. Uno was the crime boss. Remember about a Spanish town? Uno remember the great Milo? We shall remember it. We come in from the page and say yes, we remember Milo. See? Michael Manley there to call a state of emergency to stop the crime against the Jamaican people. But my people of Jamaica, I want to take this as a lesson. See?
Actually, in your.
We want to make
Remember, fear carry them find much gunman now much time. Remember, your car get shoot up too. Remember, you sleep at prison board for 7 months. You're at prison for prison board. 7 months, you would have prison for Babsy Grange. I'm going to talk about. You come like you're senile. Your head must say I take you. Anyway, I want to hear this from Asha.
Big up yourself, talk your mind and talk about the press, big up yourself. But Babsy Grange, I talk about PNP is one of the most violent set of people in Jamaica. Well, let I tell him something. Make I remind her something. You remember that the way how did violent and the amount of crime that was committing in the 70s, Michael Manley did have to call a state of emergency because that's the only way he could get power. For detain, you know. Remember, you know, him have to detain, you know, to cool down the shooting in Jamaica. You and Pernell George. Make Asha 11 remind you. Because you look like you're not a member. You want to come tell the little youth them now and the undecided voter youth them now, like say PNP a warrior. Uno was the crime boss. Remember about a Spanish town? Uno remember the great Milo? We shall remember it. We come in from the page and say yes, we remember Milo. See? Michael Manley there to call a state of emergency to stop the crime against the Jamaican people. But my people of Jamaica, I want to take this as a lesson. See? All the people attack and all the people disagree with everything that Andrew. You say Andrew not change. You know, say him get from bad to worse. Eh? Remember, you know, boy, you just have a couple days left back in a blood clot Jamaica house. Because people, when you remember them thing, yeah, see the man a pass new law now, say that you fi help police if you even have your personal business, life and death, and police stop you and say, boy, you forgot do this, you forgot do it.
sorry
Put
about
you in the line of gunfire. Cause man can turn around gun when you run down man and kill you too. You see what me I say? See? And then I'll tell we so we can get up to 3 months or get fine feet. We no vote out every bomb of blood clot labor right out. Because myself, but let I tell them blood clot system dog yeah. Alright, yeah, we in a parliament. I am not a part of no system, as I live. I don't collect national insurance. I don't go on parts neither. You see me? Because I am a free Jamaican. I am not a blood clot corporation. Me no get no benefit from uno half of uno corporation. I will not yield or bow to none of uno blood clot thieving. You see me? We're in a parliament. We no kiss the whole blood clot on if none of uno don't come out gon declare uno status declaration and uno can't talk who this little blood clot out of Spanish town. Get one little blind. Me don't know what favor I done for get a leader for the Jamaica Labour Party. And this boy no one we a dog. But you see Andrew Wanis, Delroy Chuck, Horace Chang, Mali Fool, Darrell Valls, Warmington. You see me? The whole of uno go and lock yourself in a room and fuck uno one another self.
God.
Go do. You
No, go on.
You don't have no control over me. I am not a fucking slave to no king. I am a free Jamaican. You hear me said? I am not of the fucking corporation.
My God. Boy, I shall live on now use up off your words them, but only you I shall live off it say. Right? The man now mixing words. I shall live on a man them where we live through them times to them nasty times in our politics. You understand what I say? When them used to analyze the people them and go in at them place and shoot them up and you know the dirty 70s and the 80s. When them bring down the bag of gun them, the CIA infiltrate Jamaica under Siaga and come mash up Jamaica. And them continue to do them works, you know, this political party. You understand? It is clear, you know. One was here to build and one was here to destroy. So may I deal with? You say you soon stop pass through because I'm really truly tired to see and hear those scumbags. Talk it truth, man. Talk it truth. But as me I say people, that or that. Make me know what you think about that in the comment section. See? Remember if you follow me on all platforms, Bolo TBV, Bolo VNR Chris, Bolo VNR. You know, I'm going to change Bolo VNR name because I realize when you go in the search bar, it's hard to find it because of the other one them where I dominate. So I'm going to change it to Bolo INT, Bolo International for short. You see me? Yeah. I'm going to change it to Bolo International for short. Yeah? You want to think about that? That's what I'm going to do. So, follow me on all platforms, follow me on Instagram, like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe if you haven't already become a part of the family. So, man, say, that is it. Now, I'll move on to the next topic. Alright. So, I think I covered most of the news in another one clippings there. I covered Asha 11. I covered the news about the products them. Yes. I covered the father, I covered the political ombudsman. I covered the what's your name? Nikisha Burchell, nice. Covered all of that. Very important. Yeah, you know. Yeah, okay. Alright. So, ladies and gentlemen, Nationwide put out an article. You see the screenshot? Let me show you again. I want to know about the cuss. This article right here, right? It says IC probe into PM statutory declaration closed in July 2024. That's what them say, you know. Them say it close, you know. Not my word, see? Not my word, people. Them say it close. Now, I was contacted about it and I said, well, it is possible it is closed because they already did the investigation. They put out a report and they recommended that the FID or other, you know, investigative financial institutions or bodies investigate further, because what they are asking them to investigate is beyond their potential to investigate. They don't have the right tools or funding or expertise. That's not what they're mandated to do. Right? So, I don't know. I'm sorry I never did a video on that Nationwide article before they took it down, because right now I am looking at Nationwide's page. I've been scrolling through it, going through every single area, and I cannot find the picture that I just showed you with the title. It's not there. It's actually not there. I don't know if you guys can look. You guys go ahead and look for this. Look for this particular picture with this title, right? Because I can't find it. Can't find it. And I find that very, very strange. Why would they take down the article? Did they make a mistake in the article that is liable legally? Did they mislead the people in terms of, and these are questions, did Nationwide mislead the people in terms of their take on the actual, you know, what the IC was saying in their final report, right? And I was looking through the final report, but you know, it's so much I didn't get to find the part where they drew the story from. So let me see. Let me see if we can look at the date of this. What was the date? Let me see if I see the date on there. I don't see no date. Give me a second, people. Don't move. Give me a second, please. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that particular picture to see if the date is on it. All right, give me a second. All right, so I'm back. I don't see. Well, I guess this article was just around June. Hi, tell that we still waiting on the report on the illicit aid and the FinSAC findings. Well, they are not releasing these reports, you know. They are not releasing these reports. But I am going to go to hold on, somebody just send me something a while ago. What is this? What is it? Oh my God, people, we have more problems. Them say the political ombudsman is vigilant, but look at this. They are tearing down every PMP posters, you know. They are tearing down every PMP poster. So Andrew Owen's government, this is their mandate. This is what they are doing. This is how they think they are going to win the election, by vandalizing the People's National Party's posters. I cannot believe. You see, you cannot tell me that this is not something that is being ordered by the leadership in the Jamaica Labour Party, because it's happening too much, and it's happening all across Jamaica. It's been happening. Even the mayor is using his office in ladies and gentlemen, we have more reports now of vandalization of PMP paraphernalia as election grows closer. As you can see on your screen, this is Mr. McNeil. So let us hear what Mr. McNeil is saying in this 1 minute clip right here, and then I come back and I give my commentary. Let's hear this.
Graduation in the constituency, and saw a number of my sons turned down. This would happen in North Trelawney. I've heard about it happening. Certainly Danish and Onze have had a number of problems, but this seems to be more the norm of today rather than the future. This is a real problem, and the political ombudsman, the officers put in place to ensure that we moved away from those dark days of the politics of the past. And when I see this happening now, I'm calling on my opponent and the others in the other constituencies, let us stop this. Let us campaign on serious matters like others and the issues that affect our constituents and on the policies that we bring towards resolving those problems rather than to just cheap political antics like this, which serves only to inflame the persons at the base. So I'm calling on them to stop. Let us move forward with a positive plan.
Now, this is my message to the PNP supporters and the comrades them. We heard Marlin Malawu Fort talk about the election would be delayed if there was a war to start. And we have seen that they have done this several times where it could really start some violence against the PNP and the JLP supporters, where they are continuing to tear down the people and posters. Nobody is troubling the JLP supporters posters them, you know. It's only the PNP posters them being taken down. All around Jamaica. Danishka, she's been crying about it in Southwest St. Ann. Danishka Williams, right? What's his name again? Raymond Price. You know about Raymond Price? Raymond Price his name? From St. Catherine, that's going against Terry Long. You see the video with Terry Long and what him said to the people them, right? I want to describe the PNP people them, and they've been tearing down the posters them over there, right? It is a trend going around the whole entire island with the JLP, and nobody cannot tell me that this is not being mandated and championed by the leadership of the Jamaica Labour Party. Because if it was not, they would not be doing it. They would not be doing it. You see happening in Portland. It is happening everywhere. And now Mr. McNeil here of Naturalani. Everywhere, even Paul Patmore posters have been defaced. You understand? So it shows that these people are some weak jellyback. You understand? Because if you are so confident in what you have done in the 9 years that you have been in power, why are you tearing down the people and posters? If the PNP was no threat, if the PNP cannot win the election, why are you tearing down their posters? You're supposed to look on them and laugh off at them and say, yeah man, make them waste their money and put up them posters. Because them can't go win the election. We have this luck because we have been managing the country so well. We have been managing the country so well. You understand? There's prosperity. You understand? The police, them are get them money upon time. You understand? Them are get them overtime money. The nurse, them are get them raise. Them feel confident in the money where them are get. Them have all types of equipment that they need in the hospital. 24 babies did not die in 25 days in June. In the healthcare system. Everything is running perfectly. So we are confident that we're going to get the third term. If you guys were confident, they wouldn't be tearing down the posters. You guys have ruined this country. Point blank period. You have destroyed everything, every industry. Education is in shambles. Healthcare is in shambles. The roads, then we have a road crisis. You understand? Imagine that healthcare people come down here to do surgery and the AC in the building is not working, and that's why they can't do surgery. The AC, really? And a young girl that had sclerosis or whatever them call that. I remember the case. She couldn't get to do any surgery and her parents cannot afford it, and that young lady is in pain up to this day. Why? Because an AC unit was not fixed, right? In the healthcare system. So what are we talking about? What happened to my feed? What's going on here? No, what the hell? You guys can't hear me? I don't know what just happened, but I just froze up. Pamela, how are you doing? How are you doing? These people are weak, jellyback, weak. But my message to the comrades them, Do not fall for the banana in the tailpipe. It serves the Jamaica Labour Party for violence to start because they don't have any substance. If they had substance, they wouldn't be doing this. You understand? I want you guys to bottle up that energy inside of you, right? Of anger, and I want you guys to make sure every single member of your family come out on election day. When that day is called, keep that fire inside you and make sure you put the X beside the head. You understand? Make sure you put the X beside the head come election day so you can vote out these weak jellyback for these types of things that they're doing. Because all they want to do is start a political war and then no election can go on. So they can hold up a country for the next 6 months or next year according to the constitution. Marlene Malahoo told you the agenda. She uttered it out in parliament. You understand? I said God is so good enough. God allowed the fool to continue to be a fool enough. Where they tell you their plans before they actually do it. And I think we weren't listening and I think we never pick it up. People, be wise. Be wise. The Jamaica Labour Party wants to start a war in Jamaica amongst voters. That is why Andrew Ones was telling people to go out when they were doing a protest against Dennis Chung and go protest the protest. Because he wants voters to clash. You know how much people is getting threatened by Jamaica Labour Party? No PNP supporter not threaten nobody online. Only the Jamaica Labour Party supported. I have not heard one instance where a Jamaica Labour Party supporter has been threatened by a PNP supporter. I haven't heard it. Their conduct speaks for themselves. And it's not every Jamaica Labour Party supporter is like that. But a large majority of them are. You understand? And the people that are in leadership in the Jamaica Labour Party, they don't come out and put their foot down and say, this is not acceptable. We will not accept it. And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, we are going to lock them up. Anyhow, we catch them. Make an example out of them so them know this is something that we're not going to tolerate. You cannot be representing our party and vandalizing other people's posters. If they took a stance like that, they would have some level of integrity. But they will never do it. You understand? Because you have a man like Everald Warmington going on stage and just dropping F-bombs. And interesting enough, Oral Tracy had a take on that about, and he was kind of defending Everald Warmington. I don't want him to go. I don't want you guys to go for, come for Oral Tracy. I understood what he was saying, his stances. Freedom of speech, he doesn't see it as a bad word. And nobody should be charged, whether the entertainers or Everald Warmington. And I'm saying, well, until we reach that bridge, we cross it, he should be charged now. That's all I would say. No apology does not suffice. He should be charged. But they're not going to charge him because Floyd Green was not charged for no movement day. You understand? He was not charged. Floyd Green was not charged. The DPP said she not charge him. She not have nothing to do with that. The DPP will have all their powers that she have enough. We could have taken up the case and say, we're going to charge you and make an example out of you. We're going to charge you $5 million. You understand? Because you are solely responsible. Imam Bellamy, solely responsible for this gathering right here. Champagne popping, no mask, and no movement day. Everybody else, the people of Jamaica, you if you remember these things, and want to go to vote. Keep these things in mind. Don't let go of these things. Christopher Tufton tell the people them say, if they want water, they must take the joke. We must never forget and we must never forgive. It is unforgivable the things that they're doing to the people of Jamaica. Unforgivable. Tell me, I tell you that. And if you don't agree, type agree. If you disagree, tell me why. Make we listen, the experience, Mr. McNeil, the stalwart again.
From a graduation in the constituency and saw a number of my friends turned down. I didn't think this would happen in North Trelawney. I've heard about it happening. Certainly Danishka and Andre have had a number of problems, but this seems to be more the norm of today rather than the exception. This is a real problem, and the political ombudsman, the office was put in place to ensure that we moved away from those dark days of the politics of the past. And when I see this happening now, I'm calling on my opponent and the others in the other constituencies, let us stop this. Let us campaign on serious matters like others and the issues that affect our constituents and on the policies that we bring towards resolving those problems rather than to just cheap political antics like this, which serve only to inflame the persons at the base. So I'm calling on them to stop. Let us move forward with a positive plan. I will.
Alright, big up Mr. McNeil, and that is the message. Don't make them beat to the air. And all I liberate them, I come over the page. As soon as I disrespect, you're getting black forever. So keep it coming. My black finger can't itch. You remember good. One of them just get black a while ago. What him name? Marlon Richards just get black. Black! Ha! Black! Anyway, I'm not spend too much time on irrelevant people. Let's go here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go here. Let's hear what the man in the wilderness has to say about this thing here. Let us hear what he has to say about this thing with Nationwide. Veronica walk one. Mary, big up.
Yeah, man. Rose.
Pamela, me see you.
Yeah, man. Bless, man. Bless. Be there.
Dan Augusto.
Let me just start with
me agree.
With a guy here first. Carry on, so we do general thing.
Lloyd Fang walk one.
We not do where
Bian Miller, bless up. Philip Morris, bless up.
What them do is spread propaganda and then use back.
Jerry Sadler, big up. Anne Ramsey, big up.
Someone, the people, them. Because, you know, remember
Philip Morris, big up.
Them know what is bats. Them never hear about the bats before and all. Them don't know. Them don't know. Watch him count. But now I teach you in the day right now. Right? Let me show you what Big Mama come up with points.
Yes.
I make her about that first.
Yes, please.
And then I'll show you what Big Mama, you know. It's not going away with the foolishness. Alright, watch this. Alright, see there now? Look at that. So somebody got put up now. This is how Big Mama put up yesterday. So Big Mama put up the Integrity Commission has revealed via document table
big up.
as close a probe, it had launched into Prime Minister Andrew Owen's statutory declaration. People, from last year, when Chuck talking about our business, Big Mama, you forgot say the people them come out and tell us say him not cooperate and then turn it to the feed them that want to feed looking at things.
Exactly.
Them go to Parliament, what is? So you come with something now for us spin. Where you have spin? And then you have the right like them and now jump out and say, not the news coming one to hear going into election. Yeah, the want to see the spin? Eh? No, he's going to give back taxpayers there 31 million wasted to frame Andrew Onis. To frame Andrew Onis. So you have some.
That is funny, honey. That's funny. Oh my God, that is funny.
So yeah, the some liberals are so delusional that they think that somebody is framing Andrew Onis. This lady, what's she name? Airline Perrier with Sandra Sandy Solid Anderson retweeted the article, you know. This article, you know, ladies and gentlemen. This article of the labor rights, them feeling good. Today, yo. Why when they don't see our money rough? This article of them feeling good that the Integrity Commission is no longer looking into investigations of Andrew Owen's statutory declaration. And I'm saying, What is the news? Didn't you guys know that already? The investigation was given over to the FID. You cannot be this slow, bro. Cannot be this slow. It is ridiculous. Listen more.
Idiot. When Big Mama put out them shit here, then them sit down there, they little nastiness them, and them spin it.
Yep.
The Integrity Commission said this on last year.
Last year.
Justin Pantan, Justin
Pantan, yeah.
When name Justice.
Justice.
Him sit down there, man, over them, and him say, listen, him want to fit looking at it, don't, him tell it. Them say, nah, cooperate, and them say, yes, see what we have here upon him. And then, them have the scope for look back on so even more things.
Yes.
But them want FID looking at it, and them want the tax office too.
Yes.
They compete.
Yeah.
Now that them say last year, people.
That's it.
But right away it starts playing because this is what Big Mama do. Create content. Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, it is that simple. Any labor right here jump up and make nationwide fool them. Why you think them take out? Why you think them remove this from off of them website? We cannot find it because the article is misleading. The article them put out is misleading. Them have people thinking say the Integrity Commission was investigating Andrew Owners up to this point and now them stop investigating as if they don't have anything else to investigate. No, that is not the case. What they did was hand over the investigation to the FID and the TAJ. Them stop investigating long time. That's why them had a final report that was tabled in Parliament. People not done so, man. People not done so. People not done so. So when I jump up on social media, one brother coming on my comment section and talk about the IC stop investigating Andrew Owners. Run with that. See me I run with it here. See me I run with it here. You dummy. Look how long the man is stopping, IC stop investigate them. They are waiting on the FID to do further investigation because Andrew Owners is not cooperating with the Integrity Commission. The things that they're asking him for, he doesn't want to give them. He refuses to because he's saying that it violates his privacy. And that's cap. Because let me go to the Integrity Commission Twitter. Because it was in court the other day where the judge declared that they don't have that protection of privacy. They have to comply with the Integrity Commission. Let me go to it. Integrity Commission, no, that's not it. That's the annual report. Public notice. Integrity Commission submits now. Where's that? Where's the judge? Oh yes, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let me read it for you. 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 Is this a long document? 24 pages? No, I can't do that. Let me just read this. Let me just read this. It says here, the court delivers written reason regarding the duty of the financial institutions to provide information to the Integrity Commission to verify statutory declaration. That is the banks, you know. Remember, Andrew Owners had that issue with the banks and his information going to the Integrity Commission. So they are now telling you, and this was from this post from the Integrity Commission on Twitter that the court ruled was from June 25th. This was like 8 days ago, right? And I did a video about it. Let's read. Let's go back to it. Since as the people them just slow and them dumb or something. Let us read. It says here, the court delivers written reason regarding the duty of the financial institutions provide information of the Integrity Commission to verify statutory declaration. June 25th, 2025, the court delivered its written reason in the matter concerning corporate and other bodies with the Integrity Commission, Section 7 of the Integrity Commission Act, yesterday confirming its order made on June 17, 2024. The learned judge declared, amongst other things, that the act must be interpreted to impose a duty upon persons and entities. Persons, that mean the individual, and entities, meaning the banks and the financial institutions, to cooperate with the Integrity Commission by what? Complying with the request for information. So when Andrew Onis a talk about say in privacy and them something, no. The act itself says you must comply with the Integrity Commission. And the institution, the banks, if they go to them and say, we need this, give it to them. That is what the judge says, the law says. It must be interpreted as. So me no want to come with the foolishness. The evidence, it is there right in front of you. Alright? So let's lay that to rest. Done, dead, and gone. So when I hear Del Right, you can run up in mouth in a parliament and tell people, say, oh, just tell them that your spouse does not want to give the information. Well, you're going to go to prison or you're going to get fined. Simple as blurt, not that. Don't it? When the right time come, them are charged for corruption. You remember good. Because them people are in some skullduggery. Why you don't want to give up the information? Or you fit table a law and then don't want to follow the law. What, when you never read the law? When you never understand the law when you not table it? We must say Jamaica Labour Party table the Integrity Commission act. When you never understand it. Oh, when you think so, when you never want to get catch. When you think so, when you never want to get investigated. When you think so, because on the table it, and because you're Prime Minister of Jamaica, them never want to tell you, say, your statutory declaration cannot be declared. You think a friend thing? You think it's a friend thing? It's not friend thing, my friend. And a friend thing, we are trying to clean up corruption in Jamaica. And no matter who corrupt, you got to go. I don't business. Whether PMP or JLP, you got to go. We not work with you. Simple as that. And who not like that, then can go bite that. Simple as that. I want you, man. Country has suffered because of corruption. Right? Enough equipment not in the hospital is because of corruption. It boils down when the money is not going in the right place and the money is not spent for us, the people of Jamaica, and going elsewhere. We suffer. We the people suffer. Not JLP and PMP. We the people, everybody suffers. Your family suffers. Your children suffer. Your grandmother suffer. Everybody should be agreeing that corruption needs to be eradicated wherever it is. It no matter who you like. And if you're not on that road, stay away from me. Point blank period. I don't want to deal with you. We don't need to be friends. Alright? You remember good. Anybody at all that applies to, I could have my mother. You understand what I'm saying? It is that serious. We have to clean up Jamaica. The man ain't gone too far. Over the years, the politicians them have been going on crazy. And finally, the man them create a law that can hold them accountable. And the government of Jamaica, headed by Andrew Onis, is trying to destroy the Integrity Commission. Warmington, Delroy Chuck, all of them. Marlin Malawu Ford, all of them. Even that Dana Morris Dixon has made some slight comments towards the Integrity Commission. As if Andrew Onis is some type of God where, you know, he cannot do anything wrong. He has sovereignty over law. Only God alone have that type of sovereignty. No man on earth. You know, so I call him bro God, but you need to come out of that mentality because he come like under one spell. He is a man. He's just a man, ladies and gentlemen. Powerful as he is, he's just a man. And there's one power that can take down everybody. No matter how powerful them think them is. You remember good. And you guys are going to witness it in 5K. You remember good. You just watch the show. God not sleep. That me I tell you no. Come to no man. So I don't want to hear them foolishness from nobody about this Integrity Commission thing no more. That thing is dead. Don't make them fool you know. Don't let them fool you. The Integrity Commission has not been investigating Andrew Onis since last year. That's why they put out a final report. So don't make Nationwide come out and fool you. Better than that, man. I was reached out to about it, but I think about it and I say, what is on the news? Maintenance kid, what's up, bro? Judith, how you doing? Huntley Evans, big up. Nelson, big up. I was thinking about it and I was saying, this is not news. The man ain't stop investigating the man from last year, people. From them table the report. They have been doing other investigations. As a matter of fact, They have been tied up in court with Andrew Holness. The Integrity Commission has been tied up in court proceedings with Andrew Holness. That's where their time has been spent mostly. Because him sue them. Him even sue us. Do you know that Andrew Holness sued the government? The same government that he's head of? Did you know that? Did you know that he sued us, the government? Did you know? Let me remind you. The man tried to ask the judge. He didn't try. He asked the judge in his affidavit to remove the very law of illicit enrichment out of the Integrity Commission Act. So you're telling me, you know what? Let me tell you what I read from that. You want to gain your wealth illicitly and not be charged for illicit enrichment and still be certified. Who does that? Who does that? How can you trust a lawmaker that sues the Integrity Commission to remove the Integrity Commission Act? Andrew Holness should not be on the ballot, you know. He is not qualified. He don't have no integrity, no moral compass, nothing at all to be on the ballot to represent Jamaica another term. And the man is a liar. We have caught him in so many lies. It's ridiculous. It is confirmed the man is a liar. 100-day promise. Wait there. How much days him in a government for? 2 terms. But the 100-day promise them, we can't see them all now. All tangible things that could have been done in 100 days. Set term limits. But yet still, he wants a 3rd term. Term limits. 3rd term. You see the contradiction there? Oxymoron. The two of them don't work together. Oil and water. So you're going to promise term limits but you want 3rd term? There was something about performance-based criteria for MPs to make sure that they give their very best while being a member of parliament and a representative in their constituencies. The amount of people in the Jamaica Labour Party that is upset with them own representatives that have won. Again, oxymoron. The reality versus what was promised. Night and day. Night and day, people. Let's listen to some more of this.
Yes. Create content like this. Put it out. And then when you have been because they try to them touch. That vote when they can't take voting when they understand. Big Mama them all them do is sit on online every day and deal with bats. What is that bats? They are sure to them deal with bats. So now put up some content. Big Mama, when have other things, say like when pay on the tax, when they deal with bats and them things, they don't make them chicken up. When you say the time Big Mama have 2,000 people are watching, 2,000 devices are watching one time. That's not equal like 10 times the amount when him lag off. Him that see that. So that can equal at the end to you see 10,000 views or 15. That are equal 40, 50,000 views. More. Tell me and tell you. If you lag on with that in the next 2 hours, it equal anything. The more you go up, you're going to the 100,000 or 200,000 thing. Me I tell you. But when they lag on because you control the thing who's human being and who's fast.
Yes.
You see them court now move. So you know, say Big Mama a scammer. See? Let me show you my attack. So when them come out and create them thing, and like when people share them and they JP them share it. And when them depend life, them like everything enough now, we keep some generating thing with a business. People will watch after do one hour, but to keep it real, 100% real. Bogus. Big Mama wanna do bogus on it. We boss a thing to the Big Mama. So you let talk bogus things and they use bats and fees. You're not gonna wear it. Yeah.
Embarrassing.
Embarrassing. We need some milk.
Embarrassing. What a utter disgrace. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is quite clear that this thing that they put out is old news. They are desperate to give some confidence to their support base. They know it's blood and fire, and they're marching on to victory. And we're going to kick out corruption in IT. You ever play football yet? Ever play football yet and you see man they shoot off a goal and the keeper stays so and I try to save it. And I right in a little corner right there so it go. No matter how you're good. If you even stand up I corner, the way you shot your kick, it'll go in a goal same way. Can't stop this goal. You know why? God is behind this goal. It is destined to score. It is destined for the Jamaica Labour Party to lose. Namely Andrew Wallace. Destined. And if them try TV, God and them same way. I don't know how God will work it out, you know, but they still are going to lose. There's no way they can win. There's no way they can win. I tell you that. God is not with them. You don't see what's going on in that country? As a matter of fact, let me go to this article here. Because I tell you, say thing gets so dangerous. Just to end off this particular reaction here. Zane, I couldn't believe when I see it, people. I say, what? Couldn't believe when I see it. Them thing and today this happening, you know. More and more of these types of instances and stuff happening in Jamaica. Look at this. 14-year-old shot to death. Suspect culprit unalive in alleged police confrontation. 14-year-old, you know? Identified as Tenaya Sutherland. I just did a reaction and it's going to be 2 o'clock today, ladies and gentlemen. I want you guys to watch. I have a premiere coming up 2 o'clock. Andre Stevens keynote speech in Canada. I did a reaction to that. You understand? Because last night, I never know so the video did out. Last night, me see the video. I get the link and I saw the video. And I did a reaction to it. I want you guys to go watch. Because you see, this is what Andre was talking about. This is what Andre was vocalizing and trying to mobilize the diaspora. Our children are not protected in this country. Our women are not protected in this country. They are not safe. There's no support system in this country for our women. None. You understand the types of gruesome crimes and the amount of missing children, you see, and missing persons and missing women, even men too. It's not safe. As a matter of fact, if you're being quite honest, there are instances, whether 1 or 2, where even tourists have come here. You understand? Tourists have come here and has been victim as well. You know, the other day I saw incident with a guy and 2 tourists, and he drove them down in the area, and the way how he was verbally coming at them, the 2 girls, I was taken aback. I was saying to myself, man, listen, if these people owe you money, that is not the way to do it, because it just does not look good, man. Get the police. You don't drive them down, up in them face. The laws in overseas, you know, that is seen as abuse, you know. You going into a woman's face like that and shouting at them. Yo, I really need the Jamaican public and the government to do certain things. Needs to be in school. We need to be educated about other cultures and how to actually communicate with people and like conflict resolution and stuff like that, because even the police them need it, because they don't know how to talk to people either. We see the case where the ladies from England, the young ladies from England, the police them in a sentence. You guys remember that? And they came on Andre Stevens' show. Again, the point I'm making is the women in Jamaica are not protected. They are not protected. At all, the kids, they are not protected. It's just the reality. Whether you come from foreign or not, you will find yourself in a space where you are being verbally abused or worse. They are not protected. This case of the 14-year-old, man, listen. Brother, chop, brother. it get overwhelming for me sometimes, you know? Me not tell no lie. And because them call us journalists or whatever, you're supposed to remain professional and just read the news. But I'm a human being. You understand? And it's just too much. It's just too much. Alright? She was pronounced unalive at the Princess Margaret Hospital. It says it is understood that the man who is believed to be responsible for the teen's death was shot dead by the police hours later. Sources say a blood trail led the police to the premises where the man was observed. Wow. Personal effects, belongings, and slain to the slain teen, that including items, clothes, jewelry, and mobile phone, were found at the premises. So what was the motive for this? On seeing the police team, the man reportedly drew a weapon. During the alleged confrontation which followed, he was reportedly shot. Now, I am hoping that this is the person that is responsible for this crime. That's all. That's it. You draw a weapon off of the police, blood dripping to your place, the belongings of the young lady there, and you draw your weapon off of the police. I am hoping that you are the one that is responsible for this. And all of this is legit. Everything, all the reports there is legit. That's all. That's it. I have no sympathy or empathy for this individual at all. 14-year-old. Man, listen. People remember know what thinking in the comment section, because you know. No. I'm gonna move on. Like, share, and subscribe, alright? Now, Sassy81 reached out to me. For this one, guys, I will be going to my computer. So I'm going to come off the phone and switch to my computer in about 2 minutes. Because I want you to get the clear audio and visual of these three particular videos that I'm about to play. Alright? Call it a education watch party about the history of both the PMP and the JLP in terms of violence. You know? The show of posi, what they call it? Something like that. I don't remember. But we're gonna see it. And just give me a second. We're gonna see it. Let me just transfer these videos to OBS, these links to OBS, and then we can get into the content. Somebody else said, oh, I shared that already. Somebody asked me to share something with
Doctors, nurses, and engineers who have ever dreamed of living in Australia now have an...
Yeah, somebody asked.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
Alright, easy. The last one is this one. Oh, a lady. My goodness. Do I have that? A lady on TikTok. I think I had saved it in my a lady on TikTok has some words for Babsy Grange, you know. Hey, this was interesting. I ain't gonna lie. This is a 9-minute video. I have to share this. Some things that the lady has said me, I said, no, sir. A damn thing they wanna go on at them time there. The thing what the lady live and experience with the labor at them. Hey. Me I said, no, sir, this too serious. And of them something they want to come bring back in our place. Not under God. No, sir, them can't keep that. Them can't keep that. Keep that one there. We don't need it in a Jamaica. Them can't keep that one there. That me I tell them. You know what kind of madness they want to come bring back in our country. Now, like I show up in life, like I show up. Easy, man.
In the violent underworld, two names.
Alright, yeah, violent underworld, we understand. Alright, I'm gonna switch over now, guys. I'm gonna switch over now. Alright. Bam, there we go. Alright, you can't hear me now. I don't know why this thing keep doing that, man. Yeah, so let's get to this, ladies and gentlemen. Get my headphones on. Alright. Refresh. Nice. Alright, great. So I know you guys can hear me very well. Microphone on point. Alright, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Babsy Grange again, you know. I saw a video on TikTok that I have to share. Some of the allegations, you know, are stuff that I've heard already about Babsy. And these are allegations as far as I'm concerned. I cannot verify nothing. But this person was very upset about what Babsy Grange said about the PMP. And she pretty much read out her file. 9-minute video. You can imagine how upset you have to be for do a 9-minute video for one person on TikTok. Look what the something said on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Babsy Grange, mother of all wickedness, Babsy Grange. Mighty God. No, sir. Bolo!
Whoa! Yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament.
Shift the
election.
Shift
everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach.
Take them out, Father.
Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out. From Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland.
I travel to
Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody.
Man or
woman.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, when you listen what the lady have to say, no, not my word. Not my word. See me can speed you up a little bit. Here we go.
Babsy Grange, you know say you want to come about? Because me hear you talk about the PMP are violent people and PMP wicked. Babsy, who wicked are you? You are the mother of all wickedness. You are the mama of all wickedness, Babsy Grange. Babsy Grange, you Siaga and Pernell Charles. Una are the devil or una are Lucifer. Babsy Grange, you know how much wickedness you do? When you go to East Kingston, if you go run the election, you never win out there. You buy the man them some bike, you take back the bike them. But when you feel like you're not ever.
Now, any politician, as a matter of fact, any individual that in honesty gives you something, and this is just generally speaking, who the cap fit, let them wear it. Any individual give you something and take it back, it shows a level of low character. So what this lady is saying is alleged that Babsy gives some youth some bike, and because in our area and because them lose the election, Babsy take back the bike them.
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
Hey, who man is this? Oh, man is this?
What did you say? Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What can go so?
Let's continue. Let's continue.
Nobody there out of Jamaica, you know. Other people there were no. Babsy, you go Spanish Town, you know. You turn Spanish Town upside down. You turn Spanish Town upside down. You remember Milo, man, you know. Remember Milo? When he killed Michael, man, they out of the keep to left at Spanish Town. Yeah, man, remember, man. Remember when Michael, man, they go to the keep to left at keep the meeting. And Milo, man, nearly shoot him. Milo nearly shoot him. Yeah. Babsy Grange. You love badness till you take all of the bad man them. Remember you there with Booba? Remember when Booba kicked on your ass? You know remember? Babsy Grange, you're not a body. Babsy Grange, in the 80s, remember say, a Siaga war against Michael. When him couldn't war with Michael no more, him carrying our CIA if he kill Michael. But God was on Michael man's side. Because God knows that Michael was for the people and for the people. Not like uno no want power. And let me tell you this, when you get power, uno abuse power and you don't treat people good. Yeah. Remember when Dudley Thompson and Siaga walk and then buck up right at the school where used to run Rima where used to name New Sherlock. It's Siaga boss Dudley Thompson head. Remember say Siaga this time was stay at Rima and look straight across the road. You know, remember them so there. So don't try to tell the young people them like PMP is a war boat. No, uno a war boat. Uno at the done of all garrison. Yeah. Remember man, remember say Michael man have calls state of emergency for cool down you. You're a gun girl. You're a killer. That's why you're not dead in the car for no one. God I gotta deal with you. You have to suffer for dead. You. Because you're wicked. Don't try to go on like say the one little song where PMP come out and say we are marching on the progress. Perhaps it went a long time PMP I sing that song there. It only get a different rhythm and beat. But a long time I sing that the song there from me, I like a pit them. Yeah. Because we are blood and fire comrade, of course. Because we know what we want to do, we know where we are come from. I like an idiot one in a country one night with Warmington, they are cuss up the bad old, they promise the people them black tank. Remember some of the promise people black tank already, you know. Remember some of the give out a whole for black tank in a local government election. I never change nothing. Because the people them determine and know what them want. And the people them know so on a lie, on a coming like China, on a false. Yeah, on a false.
That is funny, honey. Funny.
That one they bad.
Oh my God, that is funny.
That one they bad. Mama said they come like China, they false. Damn.
Embarrassing.
Yo.
He needs some milk.
Yeah, man. Yo. People not hear this. People who not hear this.
Yeah.
No, sir. Me can't bother.
No, because you used to got to give the people them all the fertilizer. Take night and I give people fertilizer, and from the fertilizer, from the election, don't I give them no more fertilizer? No, not always try to use things and buy out black people. Like when the fee say black people hungry more than nobody else. We're not hungry more than nobody else. Perhaps remember in the 80s, remember when Siago make we couldn't even get chicken back. By remember I say him and the CIA
like up in life, people, like up in life. With grocery. We couldn't even get grocery. As it came so bad, that's when we do get like something. The shopkeeper them will have to marry pad and rice. Yeah, we'll have to marry like a rice, married like a chicken to pad. Yeah. Mighty God.
And that would have happened at the 80s through Siago, Edward Siago,
who
was never born here.
That
man did not born here, and him come here and him commit all kind of fuckery in the island. Yeah. Him and Desmond Mackenzie, under them bringing coming all kind of something, make the up with them around right now. And and warm blood. Yeah, you know, say this man ugly. I threw your makeup making her look ugly. Look, I just threw your kind of woman you can put on like a makeup. That's why you don't favor demons like this, man. Look here, let me tell you something, Babsy. PMP is the best party. PMP is for poor people.
Yes.
Babsy, I don't know where you know see the way you love war. The people them don't at Tivoli refuse you. I them don't want them the war because people now look war again. People now fight war. PMP and Labour are friend. Man for years I go there so people have them friend. Yeah. You know see the incursion a Ush part them run come jungle. When the soldier them a kill them out of the incursion with you and Bruce Golding.
Patricia, big up.
A jungle them come, a jungle people rescue Tivoli people.
Wow.
Out of the gully. A jungle people do it, a jungle them come. Jungle save them. So how can they war?
Yes.
That's why right now no going and kill off the little boy them. Because what them not fight no war. for politics. Instead of have them as you know, but them now take a talk from you. That's why you kill off the last one out of Spanish town. Cause I tell me what, him not take no talk.
Mighty God.
Because the man that do him think, the man that do a political thing, the man that make him money. That's the man that pick them could have been good. And you shorten him life.
Jesus.
Because if you can't instruct people and send them go kill nobody, you don't like them. Babs Grange, we know that.
Mighty God.
We know that, boy, you. A DK don't can save Michael man life from Milo. Glory to God. Babs Grange, you need prayer. You need God. Because you say, oh no, me don't know how no.
People not hear this. Not my word. People like up the video, man. Like up the video. This lady, but now, like, still, the arguments what she's making, these are the things that is being said in the streets. Yes, the streets talk, you know. The streets talk. No, what is said in the street cannot be used in the court of law, right? But the point of the matter is, Bob's reputation no good in the street. Like me I try to tell you, no, say the way of the people and view are, this is it. This is it. This is it. A lot of the things that this lady is saying, I have heard before. Especially the past stuff them from way back. I have heard before. Wasn't there somebody that was caught with a car that is a criminal and the car was in her name? I mean, violence, the PMP? Violence? Man, talk about if you live in a glass house, don't throw stone. Babs is saying that about the PMP is literally what that is. Because the way how people talk about she, you would think she a one demon or something. Again, I don't know about the lady, I'm just saying. You understand? Mighty God, let's continue.
Like so. Me don't know how a human being and go stand up on a stage and just to get vote, talk all kind of crap and lie. Because you see, if God was like man, you see at the time of Ananias and Sapphira, God that makes someone to drop down and dead. Because you not fear God.
Hey, me say it all the time. This is not synonymous to Babsy. This is like for everybody. So like when people tell more time, if God was like man, may I tell you say you wanna drop down same place and I wake up back in? What say? You remember what? You better, hey, God, I'm merciful God here, man.
You wanna have a bro God, on the feet say God sit there and look low in the Babs Grange and God knows say you're a murderer and a blood upon your shoulder and a woman. Stop talking about PMP and talk about yourself. Go confess to God. Go cry to him. But there you see you're sick and you're in the hospital and God help you to come out and you come out wicked. Yeah. You go every come in a table. You find out yourself a what town. You every where candle light you find it. But you don't find yourself at an altar and kneel down and pray. Babs Grange, I'd like somebody to send you this and tell you say God want you. And before you die, seek the Lord. Because you ever sit down and see some wickedness where you don't ever survive yet? You ever sit down in a quiet place and a quiet space and see all the wickedness that you have done from the late 70s to 80s? You don't see that. Let me tell you this, man. Remember when your Prime Minister Siago go bust all the times the head. Yeah? And all the times say a high fan high in my bus back to Siago head. And that was a big war. So you say anybody wanna know, make me tell them about it. Yeah. Me know.
Emotional damage.
About the 70s and the 80s, you cannot fool me. Remember in the 80s, I pay all clothes you can't come give people. And they all steal chicken. Yeah? Because me hear a dirty vehicles I have talked about in the 80s, in the Michael Manley time, things couldn't get. And they not tell you that we make the things couldn't get. So I only use the CIA and sabotage Michael. That's why couldn't get food for near me in Jamaica. That's why Michael is a self-reliance with a plant with things and name it and not make them do it so again. Oh, come on, man, if you not talk things, talk it the right way. Don't make sure a vote. Or not tell lie on people and corrupt people name and only the one. Because when you not point finger upon somebody else, the finger point back upon uno. Stop it, man. Because that's why I could never be a labourite. Before I be a labourite, I don't vote. Because I remember all the cruel things what Siaga's done to Jamaica. And then done to the Rasta them. How in the same place that Trench Town, how them kill how much Rasta. Yeah, justice say Rasta. When they kill the people them. Yeah. When you don't want to take over the place on an Obia man friend where you used to work the Obia for Siago. When they kill her after Rasta because the Rasta them was there first. And you kill them off.
Help. We tear the
We need your divine intervention. We're tired of the labor rights. We're tired of the green people. We are so far. We can't take it no more. We need this. We need it. We need it. Help. Help. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength. Is a liberator.
Message me I deliver. You know what I deliver it? You know how much blood I listen, you know how much of them lock on? After me name make them can put on them pot. If a one preacher make Jamaican dagger can yam food, I'm asked you what. Led by Andre. But when I say Portland, me never call no name. With sure me can, me no call no fool. But me I tell some people, this year 2025, the plum line has been drawn. Who not dead and lose sleep. God want back Jamaica. One way or another. Jamaica belong to God. Lift your God bless in another church. If you're not lift your hand, you're a hypocrite if you don't love me right now. You're not supposed to there. Lift your hand and say, Eternal Father, bless our land, guide us with your mighty hand, keep us free from evil powers, be our life through countless powers. Lift your God bless hand, you're a hypocrite. Before God and all mankind, we pledge the love and loyalty of my heart, wisdom and courage of my the strength and vigor of my back in the service of my fellow. Sit. Where are they? You can't go up. I promise to stand up for justice. Come like you don't forget. You're hypocrite. You forget the pledge. And that you're not loyal no more. You don't remember the pledge. I promise to stand up for justice, brotherhood and peace, to work diligently, to think create, and give generous, so that Jamaica may. Under what? Under who? Under who? Under who? Jamaica under God. Jamaica under God. Jamaica under God. Jamaica under will increase in beauty, fellowship and prosperity. We will play our part in advancing the welfare of the whole human. I am giving you a warning.
All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on to the last segment of the show. Let we hear this.
Posi, one of the wildest and most feared organizations.
Yankee bless Wagwan.
Shower Posse, one of the wildest and most feared organizations in Caribbean history. A group of guys who came from adverse poverty and built millions of dollars in a short time, but along the way caused massive destruction that ultimately led to their historic downfall. In this video, you'll hear some of the craziest stories you've ever heard. This is the story of Jamaica's Shower Posse. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. You can also follow the Instagram page as well. So let's get into it. The story begins in Jamaica, a small island located 1,000 miles south of the United States. It was a British colony for over 300 years until it finally gained its independence in 1962. Since then, the country has been divided into two rival political parties. First, you have the People's National Party, also known as PNP. This is the Liberal Socialist Party of Jamaica. Typically, the Rastafari culture has championed this party as they represent equity for everyone. On the other hand, you have the Jamaican Labour Party, also known as JLP. This is the conservative party who champions free markets and lack of social services. They pretty much oppose the PNP in every way possible, even beyond political ideology. Just like anywhere, the political parties are on opposite spectrums and don't get along. Except in Jamaica, it's way deeper than you can imagine. Neighborhoods are either affiliated with PNP or JLP, so if one neighborhood is JLP and across the street is PNP, they have to be bitter rivals. This is mainly true in the capital city of Kingston, where things are out of control. Since the 1960s, Kingston has been one of the poorest and most dangerous cities in the world, and most of this is due to the major political rivalry. Originally, children could grow up in
So Jamaica, excuse me, you hear that? The areas them that champion, Garrison we are champion these political parties. Una suffer more, so no see that. When election done, we're supposed to live good overall. But when election done, you don't notice what happen. You don't notice how hard see politicians them, you don't see that. If the politicians them not putting in policies in place for the grow. If you are living in one area and the area is stagnant, why honestly I support the party? I don't understand. You think me could have support one party and live in one area where we don't have water? I'm telling you something, man. I'm mad. Well, let's continue.
choose their own political affiliation, but after years of opposition, it became about which neighborhood you're from. So if you were from a JLP neighborhood, you had to ride with them. Obviously, this created a toxic environment, and we start off in the worst place of them all. Welcome to West Kingston, easily the most dangerous place in all of Jamaica. The area is divided into two neighboring sections. First, you have the Tivoli Gardens, an area built by JLP. The area was once a Rastafari homeless camp and was controversially torn down by the JLP. And for this reason, the People's National Party was infuriated and despised anyone who moved in. Specifically, the community across the street were not fans, to say the least. This would be Denham Town, a strong community of PNP loyalists. One of these people was a man named Lester Lloyd Coke. Growing up, Lester was raised as a PNP ride or die and was taught to hate the opposite JLP. But despite the rough nature of the area, Lester was not initially interested in this life. Instead, he found a job as a locksmith and hoped to make that his career. However, in 1966, tragedy would come his way. At the age of 19, Lester was hit 6 times in the chest and left to die in his own neighborhood. His friends scattered and he figured that it was all over for him. But then out of nowhere, a group of men rushed to his aid. They bravely picked him up and rushed him across the street to the Tivoli Gardens. And there, the JLP doctors ended up saving his life. Lester felt blessed and was extremely thankful for the Tivoli men who saved him. And on the other hand, he was extremely disappointed in the friends he grew up with. So now Lester had the dilemma of a lifetime. He was raised to hate the people who just saved his life. So what do I do? Long story short, Lester Coke moved to the Tivoli Gardens and switched his alliance to JLP. Instantly, all of his friends and family broke ties with him, and now he had to watch his back at all times. So to protect himself, he began running with the Tivoli Gardens' biggest crew. This would be the Phoenix Gang, and they did all of the dirty work for the JLP in West Kingston. Quickly, Lester gained the reputation of being the coldest stepper in West Kingston. No one wanted to run into him, and he was willing to do anything for the JLP. Well, the year is 1976, and things are about to get crazy. Over the previous few years, Jamaica had seen violence like never before, and given that the general election is around the corner, everyone was worried about what could happen. In particular, Jamaica's biggest superstar wanted to make a change. Bob Marley wanted nothing more than peace between the two sides, and although he was championed by the PNP, Bob never pushed a political agenda. All he truly cared about was peace within his community, people over politics. But unfortunately, Bob Marley was thrown in the mix. The PNP candidate Michael Manley decided to use Bob Marley for his campaign. This was bad news because it put his life at risk. The JLP was now after him. 10 days before the election, Bob Marley decided to host a major festival in Kingston. It was a free concert to bring unity before the election. Well, unfortunately, the PNP began advertising the concert as their own. December 3rd, 1976. It's 2 days before the concert and Bob Marley is at his beautiful house on Hill Road. Inside, he and his band are rehearsing for the major show. At 8:30 p.m., Bob's wife arrives in the driveway to bring everyone food. So Bob walks outside to help her out. And as he gets to her car, he notices a man ruffling in the bushes. So he takes a closer look and guess who it is? Lester Lloyd Coke. So instantly, Bob turns around to run. Thankfully, Bob and his wife made it after surgery. But still, this enraged everyone in Jamaica. Obviously, he was a national hero, but now he was also gonna miss the concert. Or maybe not. Everyone around Bob told him to skip the concert and to leave Jamaica for his safety. Obviously, Bob knew the risks, but he valued his country's unity over his own safety. December 5th, 1976. Despite Bob being doubtful to come, over 50,000 people showed up hoping to see him. They waited all day until Bob was escorted by hundreds of security into the venue. And at sunset, Bob Marley emerged on the stage and gave the concert of a lifetime. This is one of the...
We need to take this as a lesson from Bob. Look how much danger Bob Marley did in. Look at the times them we wanna live in. And we have you guys that are listening to me that is saying you are afraid to talk on the telephone. You're in the safety of your homes and you guys are afraid to come on a program and vocalize your disgust for the Jamaica Labour Party and what is happening in your community. Look at what Bob faced. Bad man come for him, shoot him and the man end up at hospital. And everybody tell himself to run from Jamaica. And what Bob Marley do? The man still go do the concert. Look at the hypocrite Siaga. Watch him. Hypocrite. Devil. Say that without apology. You understand? One of the wickedest man apart from Andrew when said come through politics in Jamaica. That man right there. You remember good.
The greatest moments in Jamaican
Black
history.
Beauty, walk one. Big up yourself, Black Beauty.
Backfired for J.
Oh, Black Barbie, my bad. Bye, Black Barbie.
LP. People began seeing their true colors and began switching over to PNP. So 10 days later, Michael Manley won the election, seeing their 1,000 people showed up hoping to see him. They waited all day until Bob was escorted by hundreds of security into the venue. And at sunset, Bob Marley emerged on the stage and gave the concert of a lifetime. This is one of the greatest moments in Jamaican history, and it all backfired for JLP. People began seeing their true colors and began switching over to PNP. So 10 days later, Michael Manley won the election in a landslide, defeating Edward Sega. And now that PNP was in power, the Jamaica Labour Party and the Phoenix Gang had lost their control. So now the PNP could get revenge for what happened to Bob Marley. In August of 1977, Phoenix Gang leader Charles Massett passed away after getting pulled over by a squad of police officers. The officers claimed that he was the aggressor and they acted in self-defense. However, everyone knew the truth that it was PNP flexing their power. Lester Coke was infuriated, and now it was his time to step up as a leader. He had waited over a decade for this position, so you know that he was more than ready. By this time, the Tivoli Gardens were depleted, and now it was his mission to get them back into power. Lester Coke came out with a vengeance, and his first move was changing the name.
Hi, Sassy. How you doing, baby? Sassy 81 in the building. What's up, boo? Hope you and your family doing well, you know what I'm saying?
Into the shower posse. Some say that it represents a shower of blessings and others say it represents a shower of something else. Well, from the gate, Lester Coke began recruiting thousands of members. On top of this, he had the largest arsenal of choppers that Jamaica had ever seen. A former CIA whistleblower claims that the CIA was funding Lester Coke. However, this...
You're deaf? Wanna hear that? A former CIA agent said that the CIA was funding the shower posse.
This was never proven in court, but what we do know is that the shower posse began invading PNP.
Not proven in court, but the recent CIA documents that was released shows that. In it.
neighborhoods all over Kingston. They became the most feared in Kingston as they were breaking all of the unwritten rules. Previously, you needed to target someone of essence, not just a random civilian. But Lester Coke was cold-blooded and he wanted destruction by any means. And this leads us to the 1980 election, possibly the worst time in Jamaican history. The Shower Posse made demonstrations in the worst way possible. During the 2 months before the election, 898 PMP supporters lost their lives. This resulted in major
898 PMP supporters lost their lives. And the PMP is violent. When I hear this,
pressure for Jamaicans to vote for JLP as they feared of what could happen if they didn't. On October 30th, 1980, the election results were announced. It was the most lopsided election in Jamaican history, with the JLP winning 51 of 60 seats. Edward Sega was now the Prime Minister of Jamaica. He promised to turn them into the Singapore of the Caribbean, and for that
he promised to turn them into the Singapore of the Caribbean. What a laugh. What a joke.
Embarrassing.
He needs some milk.
What
That
a
is
joke.
funny, honey.
No, me see.
Funny.
No, me see where Andrew get it from.
God, that is
These
funny.
elaborate promises. See them about turn Portmore in a smart city. I him get it from I'm teacher. Mighty God.
booming economy. To boost the economy, the JLP printed a ton of money and lowered interest rates. In the short run, this made Jamaica prosperous and everyone was happy. But as we know, bubbles are always gonna pop. So the early 1980s became a time of hyperinflation and mass unemployment. The Jamaican dollar lost so much value that other countries would not even trade it. But while most Jamaicans were struggling, others were striking it rich. And by others, I really
People only know to say history repeat itself. Most Jamaicans were suffering at that time. What happening in Jamaica right now? Most Jamaicans are suffering. But the well-connected, you know, the one that were locked in with this political party, they are prospering quite handsomely.
mean Lester Coke, so let me explain. Edward saying Jamaican dollar lost so much value that other countries would not even trade it. But while most Jamaicans were struggling, others were striking it rich. And by others, I really mean Lester Coke, so let me explain. Edward Sega ran on the premise of being hard on crime and taking all of the dealers off the street. So this is exactly what he did. He got everyone locked up except for Lester Coke. This of course.
Damn! Every other criminal got locked up except for Lester Coke. Is it possible that history is repeating itself, ladies and gentlemen? Is it possible that the JCF is being used by this political party at the moment and history is repeating itself? I'm just asking. All these young men that have been in confrontation with the police and lives have lost, are we seeing the same blueprint of Edward Siaga being played out in this time? Is history repeating itself? Very interesting.
Emotional damage.
Very interesting indeed, ladies and
Something
gentlemen.
like my wisdom warriors.
When the right time come, some are gonna charge for corruption.
Oh yes. Class prefect say insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting to get a different result. I couldn't have said it better myself, my brother.
Course allowed Lester and the Shower Posse to take over all of the markets of Kingston, Jamaica. But not only this,
So according to this video, Siaga and the police and under his rulership move all of the drug dealer them out of the place. And it's only one person was operating, his right hand man. Mighty God. Hey, that's some diabolical stuff, this, you know? These are some diabolical stuff, man. Some gang up. No, sir.
Lester was allowed to import anything from Colombia. Well, according to residents at the time, Lester Coke was generating...
Azara break that. Hold on there. Breaks.
Lester was allowed to import anything from Colombia. Well, according...
Azara break that. Is that the young Zara Burke with CVM TV? I think a long time shadow this. Still sweetie one. For a sweeter morning, have a sweeter evening, alright? Zara, isn't that Zara Burke, guys? Or am I tripping?
To residents at the time, Lester Cook was generating so much money that he could never spend it in a lifetime. So with all this wealth, he decided to share it with those who he loved most. In just a short time, he turned the Tivoli Gardens into a high-class society. He paid for everyone's education, he gave them jobs, and he provided the best healthcare that money could buy. In a major recession where most are starving.
It's Kalila Reliance. Okay, thank you. That's why I'm loving class prefect there.
The Tivoli
There's some bright people in this sector.
Gardens were thriving like never before. This of course made the PNP sections upset, but this wasn't even the biggest problem. The other JLP sections were not getting help from Lester Coke, and one section in particular decided to take a stand. In 1984, the neighborhood of Rima decided to complain to Lester Coke. They showed him how poor their apartments were and how Tivoli can't be the only ones getting taken care of. Lester Coke took this personally because he never liked anyone questioning his decisions, but he decided to give them the benefit of the doubt and granted them an official meeting. May 2nd, 1984. Lester Coke and his shower posse bodyguards enter Rima for the meeting. That's when one of the Rima men begins complaining about how Lester won't do anything for them. He then tells him that if things don't change, they'll switch over to PNP. Lester makes the worst decision possible. Lester single-handedly wiped out all of the men at the table. The Rima neighborhood was devastated and they...
What is this? Wait a minute. Hold up. Hi, Sassy. Wait. So you telling me if this is true, the JLP wiped out the JLP? Yeah, these people can't be trusted. Ain't no way. Nah. What? Are you serious?
Decided to switch sides to PNP. He knew that he messed up and he figured that it could all catch up to him. Crossing his own side could potentially piss off Edward Sagan.
So hold on then. Me don't know the political landscape. Is Rima still a part of the PNP to this day? After that?
So 2 days later on May 4th, Lester fled Jamaica with 20 of his shower posse men. Welcome to Miami, Florida. When they arrived, they could not believe their eyes. The tall buildings, fancy cars, and beautiful women. There's no way this is real life. At first, Lester Coke and his men enjoyed the experience to the fullest extent. They had money saved up and they could finally live a relaxing life. Lester even bought a house in Miami Gardens, which at the time was a brand new suburb. So during the night, they'd drive to South Beach to party and then they'd come back to sleep during the day. But quickly, they realized that Jamaican money only goes so far in Miami. So with his Colombian connections, Lester got back into the game. The shower posse began building their clientele throughout the streets of Miami. They weren't there to cause any problems, but at a certain point it was kind of inevitable. Despite their power in Jamaica, they were nobodies in Miami, and that meant that people were gonna try them. January 22nd, 1985. The shower posse are set to complete a transaction with their crew in Little Haiti. So Lester and his right-hand man Charles Little Nut Miller arrive at the location. It happens to be in a...
Patricia, what you mean you're not hearing anything? You need to turn up your device. Come on. What do you mean you're not hearing anything? Everybody else hearing? Everybody else are hearing the thing, right? Something wrong with Patricia's device, you know.
Abandoned house, which should have been a red flag. Regardless, they enter the house to meet the Zoes. But the Zoes aren't there to purchase anything. Instead, they surround the shower posse and run off with their stuff. They had no idea who they had just messed with. This was bad news and Lester wanted to prove a point. The next day, January 23rd, 1985, Lester and Charles go to Little Haiti by themselves, looking for the men. They drive to the house from the day before and they boldly walk inside. Right there are the 5 men from the day before. Bam! The 5 men did not make it and word began buzzing around Miami. The shower posse were here to take over. They decided to set up in Miami Gardens as it was a close suburb to the city. And from Lester's house, all of the money and deals were made. Things went smoothly for a couple of weeks, but then the worst possible news would come for Lester. While walking through the neighborhood, Charles Miller notices something very strange. Another group of Jamaicans had moved in just down the street. So Charles rushes home and informs Lester of what he had seen. Of course, Lester was curious, so he walks over to the house with Charles. As he walks up, his jaw drops to the floor. Standing in front of the house is a man named Kenneth Black, also known as Skang Don. Skang Don was possibly the most notorious PNP leader in Kingston, the head of what's known as the Spangler Posse. Back in...
Pause! Spangler Posse. Oh! Now, ladies and gentlemen, the reality is this. When you have Edward Siaga and the CIA interfering in political affairs in Jamaica, creating garrisons, equipping men with high-powered weapons, Where you expect the PNP them to do well living in that area them? Not defend themselves? Ah! The man then start the war, brother. From them time there. And the reality is, they were PNP people that responded in them area. So, Spanglers, them say them name. Alright, let's continue. This is just the reality. And guess who did not win? The Jamaican people. The Jamaican people did not win because you were gone. The politician them safe, you know. They move around with police, you know. And all of these things, you know. Uno the in the garrison and a kill off on one another. I never understood it. I never understood it. And will never understand it. How you guys give up on the lives like on the life don't mean nothing. Right? And just I tell you why.
In Kingston, the Spangler Posse and Shower Posse had years of battles, so this was bad news. Lester escaped Jamaica just for his rivals to move in 2 blocks away. Well, of course, he wanted to prove that Miami belonged to him. March 30th, 1985. Lester gets word of a reggae party in nearby Fort Lauderdale, and he hears that Skang Don might be there. Although they're neighbors, Lester knows that catching Skang in their own neighborhood would be a terrible idea. So to him, this is the perfect opportunity. At 1 a.m., the Shower Posse arrive at the reggae party. They walk into the party with their blowers tucked in their pants. Then they hide in the bathroom and send a member to go looking for Skang Don. The member can't find him anywhere and walks back to the bathroom. Lester gets frustrated and allegedly walks out to the floor to look for himself. As he walks out, he notices Skang Don and the DJ.
Yeah, Ryan. I've been on for 2 hours. Nobody gets notifications from me. Most of my people don't anyway. I don't know what's going on with YouTube.
A booth with Spangler members. So then the Shower Posse make a wild decision. Thankfully, no Spangler members were injured, but sadly, the DJ didn't make it. The incident was the very first Jamaican beef in Florida, and it kicked off a wild decade. The Shower Posse versus Spangler Posse was pretty much JLP versus PNP on American territory, and that takes us to September 1st, 1985. It's a beautiful Sunday morning in Coral Springs, Florida, a suburb an hour north of Miami, and here a major soccer match is taking place.
Now, guys, for the ones that do get the notifications, that's why it's important for you guys to hit the like button, so the video can go out in the algorithm. Alright, so if 61 of you are here, I want to see 61 likes. You get me? Please.
Place at a local park. The match is a collection of former professional players who are playing for a club championship. In the match happens to be a player named Colin Fowles, a former MLS star. Colin was born and raised in Kingston and actually grew up with some of the Spangler members. So naturally, the Spangler Posse shows up to the match to support their friend. The match is a great time and everyone is off their usual guard. On top of this, they're over an hour away from Miami, so they can't expect anything to happen. Well, little do they know the Shower Posse had followed them all the way from Miami Gardens. During the game, the Shower Posse made a devastating decision. Colin was a beloved member of the US and Jamaican soccer communities, and everyone was shocked. The police couldn't figure anything out as many of the Shower Posse members were not citizens and could not be identified. But
wanna see who violent? I want the Bobs to see who violent. Who is the one always initiating violence in this story? The JLP Shower Posse. The JLP. And my history, I feel them history. I'm not telling you, man.
Then Miami police got a random call. In December of 1985, a random man with a Jamaican accent called in. He told police that he's very close with Lester Coke and that he's fed up with all of the bad things he's doing to the community. The man's identity was kept secret, but everyone knew that it was from inside the Shower Posse circle. The man gave police Lester's address and told them what they'll find inside of his house. This alone was enough for a search warrant, and Miami police were certain that they could take down Lester Coke. On December 11th, 1985, Lester Coke's home in Miami Gardens was raided. Police found everything that the caller said they would, but unfortunately for them, everyone in the house except for Lester claimed that it was all theirs, and for that reason there were no longer grounds to arrest Lester Coke. At this point, Lester figured that he could get away with anything, but still he decided to lay low and stack his money. This continued for a couple of years, but then came some unexpected news. October 1st, 1987, Jamaican authorities announced that Lester Coke is wanted for the 1984 incident in Rima where 12 people lost their lives. motives, so the United States extradited Lester Koch to Jamaica right away. But Lester knew that it was all smoke and mirrors, especially because Edward Sega was still in charge. Well, just like he expected, the Jamaican government didn't even put him in jail, despite what they told the media. The JLP government told him to lay low and to avoid leaving the Tivoli Gardens. All of this was to prevent the political opponents to finding out he was free. Well, you can't really tell Lester what to do, and he decided to put Sega's reputation on the line. November 3rd, 1987. It's a Tuesday morning in West Kingston, and Lester hops in his car to go grab some food. As he arrives at the store, he tries to double park. Well, behind him is a school bus who honks at him to move. This makes Lester upset, so he gets out of his car and walks up to the bus window, and that's when he makes a horrible decision. Witnesses from the scene told police that it was Lester Koch, but they knew that he wasn't supposed to be out, so police hid the statements and let Lester go back into hiding. Well, all of the bus drivers were infuriated with this act, so together they all went on a strike. Every single bus driver in the Kingston area refused to do their job until Lester was arrested. Now the JLP government had a major dilemma at their hands. On one hand, the kids are not able to go to school and there's no end in sight. On the other hand, charging Lester would prove that they never arrested him in the first place. After a while, the JLP had to make the right decision, and Lester Koch was arrested. This time, Lester actually had to sit behind bars. After nearly a year in jail, more bad news would come his way. October 1st, 1988. 87 shower posse members were indicted in America. New Jersey police arrested 53 while Miami police arrested 34. During the case, quite a few members gave up Lester Koch, including Charles Miller. And this is how they figured out everything Lester had done in Miami. This included the incident in Little Haiti, the reggae party, and finally the Colin Fowles incident. So the FBI called on the Jamaican government to extradite Lester Koch. Prime Minister Edward Sega would refuse the request by telling the US that Jamaica would handle it themselves. The FBI knew that there was a higher chance of finding a beautiful woman in Bakersfield than the Jamaican government actually sentencing Lester Koch. And for those who aren't familiar,
yo, that's bad. Whoa. Yo, nah, bro. So this is what you're talking about. This is what you're talking about, class prefect. So the CIA now regretted their connection to Siaga because of all of this. So they extradited the man, brought him to Jamaica just to have him free. Yo, listen. The Jamaica Labour Party is the most diabolical organization in the history of the Caribbean. Nobody can talk to me anymore. Nobody can tell me nothing with all of the evidence that we have seen and heard the history. The man extradite the man from foreign just to bring him come back down here for him stay free and hide it from the PNP so them don't know say him free. But the man so unruly. The man is so violent. School bus. Just because they hung the honor for him, the arrogance and the spirit is still in the Jamaica Labour Party to this day. The arrogance can't come out of them. Hey, God have to take them down, you know? God have to take them down. It's not a if now, but now maybe. When the man is them a blood and fire comrades, no me understand. No me understand where that come from. For you fight a force like this. The man ain't got a football match and the man ain't follow them got a football match. The man ain't got a football match to enjoy themselves and easy. And the man ain't follow them just go get trouble and analyze the footballer. To the point where the own people in, they took all them wicked. Them own people within their own party. The man in those violence, brother. An inside man. Make them get catch a foreign. Wanna listen to this? I want to thank Sassidi for sharing this video with me. Because I'm telling you, this is giving me a lot of clarity about who we are dealing with in this country. A lot of clarity. Mighty God, no sir.
This lasted for a few years and Lester never even faced trial in Jamaica. The US was not happy with this, so now they threatened sanctions on the country of Jamaica. Edward Sega and the JLP now had another dilemma on their hands. Either lose respect from most of Jamaica or turn in the man who funded your political career. It was really a lose-lose. Either way, Edward Sega was screwed. He decided to do nothing, and ultimately this lost him the 1990 election to Michael Manley. Now this was terrible news for Lester Coke, as now the PNP was in control of his fate. He went from balling in Miami to looking at life behind bars. On February 1st, 1992, Michael Manley announced that Lester Coke would be sent to the United States. The U.S. Marshals were set to pick him up in 2 days from the Jamaican jail. Lester knew that it was all over for him, so he appointed his son to be the new leader of the Shower Posse. This would be Alexander Coke, also known as Jah T. The announcement was made to all of the Shower Posse members on the morning of February 2nd. However, by 4 p.m., Jah T was found in front of the Tivoli Gardens. No suspect was ever named, and Lester Coke was absolutely devastated by the news. And what would happen next is one of the strangest things I've ever covered. Later that night at 11 p.m., a major fire breaks out at the jail and firefighters rush in to help. There, they sadly discover Lester Coke. Everyone was confused on the matter, and 3 stories began being circulated. JLP supporters believed that he was silenced because of the dirt he had on the CIA. PNP supporters believed that he was trying to escape and he botched the process. And lastly, Kingston police believed that he was overwhelmed by what happened to his son. The world will never know this answer, but this was a wild 2 days in Jamaica. A week later, over 40,000 people showed up to his funeral to pay respects. For JLP supporters, his name is still highly regarded, despite all of the awful things he did. They credit him with paying for...
How embarrassing. How... This is... Did you hear that?
A week later, over 40,000 people showed up to his funeral to pay respects. For JLP supporters, his name is still highly regarded, despite all...
His name is still highly regarded. His name is... Bruh.
All of the awful things he did.
Bruh.
They credit him with paying for their schooling and making sure their kids were always fed.
Bruh.
Well, this was the end of the Shower Posse. New Jersey had taken them down, Miami had taken them down, and the only place they existed was now Toronto, Canada, and Philadelphia. But for Jamaica itself, the Shower Posse was done for. The PNP government was in total power, and the JLP was now weak. This honestly brought a couple of peaceful years to Kingston, so maybe the JLP and the Shower Posse were...
I know where I'm live. Nora, I'm live. You hearing me? Hello? Hello? Nora? Nora? Nora, can you hear me? Nora, can you hear me? Hello? Come like Nora, hello? Hello? Come like Nora accidentally call me. I mean, I hear nothing. Try call her back still. Maybe she had something to say about the situation. These events that we are looking at right now. Nora, the explorer. No, let me stop. Born again, Lord. Big up. No, Sassy this bad. Me not lie. That one is dangerous. Nora look like a work she did and she accidentally called me. Got her food in her pocket. Anyway.
But just when Jamaica thought the Shower Posse era was done, one man was set to bring it back. Let me introduce you to a man named Christopher Coke, also known as Dudus. Dudus was Lester's youngest son, but he wasn't quite like the rest. He was raised away from the madness and sent to Ardeen Academy, the most prestigious school in Kingston. There, he went to school with the children of politicians and millionaires. Dudus was well regarded by the teachers at the school, who claimed he was soft-spoken and an intellectual genius. In fact, no one at the school knew that he was the son of Lester Coke, as they used his mother's last name. Well, Christopher was an engineer by trade, a man who had dreams of owning his own construction company. But he also had another dream, a dream to finish his father's legacy. He deeply wanted to bring the Shower Posse back and to get the JLP back into power. So in 1994, Dudus went to the Tivoli Gardens to present his idea. Everyone was on board and already revered Dudus because of who his father was. And just like that, the Shower Posse was now officially back. But this time around, under Dudus, they were run completely differently. He wanted them to remain low-key, that way they could make money for decades without police attention. While through his father's and his school connections, Christopher Koch became extremely wealthy. And just like his father, a good portion of his money went to the Tivoli community. He turned the Tivoli Gardens to the wealthiest community in Kingston, just like the 70s and 80s. Well, over the next 10 years, the Shower Posse were stacking their money and remaining low-key. But then he was called on by the JLP. The People's National Party had been in power since 1990 and the 2007 election was coming up. After years of PNP policies, much of Jamaica's private sector was destroyed. So as one of the wealthiest residents of Jamaica, people were looking at Dudus to save the day. So in 2006, Dudus began campaigning for the JLP's newest candidate. This would be a man named Bruce Golding, and Dudus allegedly funded his career very well. Well, his efforts worked as the JLP won their first election in 17 years. This was a new era in Jamaica, and for Dudus, he would be paid back in a very nice way. His construction company received a $32 million deal to rebuild the Tivoli Gardens. This, of course, was paid by tax dollars, ultimately making Dudus even richer. So with $32 million, Dudus could now sit back and enjoy his life. But just when he thought that he was set for life, bad news would come his way. While wiretapping his connections in New York, the FBI overheard calls with Dudus on the phone. They allegedly overheard all kinds of illicit business. So in August of 2009, the FBI officially asked the Jamaican government to turn him over to face trial in New York. Well, Bruce Golding was extra loyal to the man who allegedly funded his career. So of course he refused to turn him in, claiming that the wiretaps were illegally obtained. So now Bruce Golding had the same dilemma as Edward Sega. Do I turn in my loyal man or do I go against the US government? For 9 months, Bruce Golding refused to turn him in.
So Bruce, Bruce is not clean, my general. Bruce is a dirty guy. Bruce is a dirty guy. Mighty God. What nasty politics. 9 months. Yo. I cannot believe what I'm hearing, brother. I can't believe what I'm hearing right now. I'm not telling a lie. 9 months. The man they hold back from giving up the man. You know, actions speak louder than words still, you know. Because I want the people them to focus on the action of the politician and stop focus on what they must say. I think that is the lesson. You guys have to use a discernment, man. You know, we the people them that come on here, we don't need to explode everything to you. We just need to open the eyes and look honestly. And see. Nobody now have to tell you say the people them corrupt. We don't see. We don't see. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how people support certain things, brother. If both our political parties them is like this, right? Like what I'm describing right now, so I don't want to be a part of any of it. Yeah. There has to be a demarcation line. There has to be. Yeah, listen. We covered that already, you know. ABR. Them closed the case from last year. The Integrity Commission is not investigating Andrew Honest. They have handed over the case to the FID and the THA. That is not news. Them just frame it in a one way for just like the people them that is starch labor rights supporters. Yeah, that's it. Nothing else no right. You know, we went over it. I mean, I'm going to post the video. The upload. You know what I mean? Yeah, so when they're saying that, they're not saying anything. But you see, this is what Nationwide does. The propaganda machine for the Jamaica Labour Party. And then we can't find the article. You look like them take it down. It appears. Yes, the whole of the supporters them are. You want to them in my comment section, ABR. The whole of them are run with it.
But then he finally cracked. On May 17th, 2010, Golding announced that he would be turning in Christopher Koch. Ooh, the country erupted. Christopher Koch had thousands and thousands of loyal supporters, and none of them were happy. For years, he provided school, food, and jobs for entire neighborhoods. So for this reason,
No, me nah lie. Dudus Koch was more intelligent than his father. Me nah gonna lie. The way how him run him operation, I can see why him have this overwhelming support from the people. Yeah. Him was running Kingston like nobody couldn't do anything and him no know about it. The man did up, yo, I hear about the man, you know. I'm not come from Kingston, you know. The man they call the man short boss. Me have brethren lose all their phone at town and so. Who you think them call? Things happen to them. Who you think them call? And everything fixed. Me mean everything fixed. I've heard stories, man. Stories. So you are see him have whole heap of support. You are gonna see that. But Jamaican people have to ask themselves a question. Is this the type of way we want our country to be run? At the end of the day, I want to have to answer that question, you know. How is it working out for us now? Because the Bible tell you, you know, if you don't build a house on a rock, you know, what will happen? You have to build a house on a firm foundation. So, and the Bible also talk about some things seem right in the eyes of men, but in the eyes of the Lord, total abomination. And I believe this culture, this Dan culture, is one of those things. Yeah, man, we don't need to revisit that something, man. We don't need to revisit and think about it. I won't have to make the decision because look at the overwhelming support that the man have. And him still have it. Him still have it. And I'm going to say, I was one of those that was like, yo, the man really have over there run like that. Things that when I hear me, I say, yo, how comes the politician then can't do that? How comes the politician then can't have a place around like that? How comes is a man where is running, you know, him not have the legal powers them to do what him do, but him a run a place like that. Party I keep no shot, no fire, nothing at all. Everybody enjoy themselves. Party keep till hours of morning, daylight. Town did nice. Everybody talk about him. Say town did nice when Dudus when I blurt not done. Everybody talk about it. The brethren them will work downtown in the market. The man then talk about it. Some of them all over the country then they say no. They come from. Word was getting around all around Jamaica about this brethren. And all man I run the place and all place discipline. What me say? The people they love Dudus, man. Love Dudus. And Dudus is a he's situating us can get him schooling. He's a brilliant guy, you know. He's not a dunce. Dudus is not a dunce. He's a brilliant guy. Him just choose that way there. He could have used him brilliance to other things, but him choose that way there. You feel what I say? And just like, you know, he was smart too, because if him did stay in a Jamaica, why? I don't know. Probably the same fate would happen to him, father would happen to him. Or him uncle or grandfather, I don't know. I don't know. Right? He said because the politician is seen as dishonorable and untrustworthy, so the people never respected them. Oh. Well, Dudus found a way. Dudus find a formula to get respect. And actually love. The people them love him. People them, I don't like them fear him. They actually love him. People they actually love Dudus. Like seriously, they love him. One shot boss. The man then say, what you say? We say all over the island. All over the island. Me no know about no politics. I mean, I say that the man the name resonated all over Jamaica. Yeah. You see me?
Everyone decided to stand behind him. On May 18, 2010, the Shower Posse told Bruce Golding that they would not be turning over Christopher Koch. So over 10,000 Shower Posse members surrounded the Tivoli Gardens ready to sacrifice it all. They severely outnumbered the local authorities, so Bruce Golding backed off for a week. But then he enacted a national emergency and sent in the military. Between May 24th and May 27th, over 74 Shower Posse members lost their lives in front of the Tivoli Gardens. Still though, the Shower Posse had more men to spare, but Dudus knew that this was not a good idea. So on the night of May 27th, Dudus came up with a plan. He decided to put on a dress and large sunglasses and to try to sneak out at night. He only made it a few blocks until he passed the US Embassy where somebody recognized him. The next day, he was extradited to New York to face trial. On June 8th, 2012, he was officially sentenced.
Wait a minute. Is that how that went? Yeah, that part of the story kind of sketchy. Is that how that went? He dressed up in... Is that how that went? Real talk? That's what came in the news? Okay, I'm gonna leave that one alone.
To 23 years in prison. He's set to be released on January 25th, 2030. Well, after turning him in, Bruce Golding lost all of his likability. So on September 5th, 2011, he officially announced his resignation. However, to this day, he still denies ever communicating with Christopher Koch. And despite this blemish on his career, many consider him one of the greatest leaders in Jamaican history. But what do you guys think? If you're from Jamaica, let me know in the comments. But wait, let's get back on track to Christopher Dudus. Still to this day, Dudus is regarded as a savior in the Tivoli Gardens.
No, we don't need the police, we need Dudus, because that's where the justice lies. He's the only one who cares about the people and the citizens of Tivoli Garden. Nobody really cares. Right now, he's just disappointed. He's disappointed in the jurisdictional system. Well, the people of Tivoli Garden know that Dudus love them, and he'll always love them, and he's always in their hearts. Because every time he writes, he just always give out his love to them, so they know that he will be always thinking about them. So will them. As long as nobody dies before that time, everybody here will still saying Dudus, Christopher Koch to the end. No matter what, we'll always be loyal to him.
We can sleep peaceful at night and everything. He provide everything good for the people in Tivoli Garden.
Because he's a good man. He's good for the people. Take care of the children, help them to go to school, take care of the old people. He's good for the community.
They believe that his mission was never to harm and to only get rich and to provide for his community. However, as we have seen over and over, this is never the way to do it. In the end, you'll always cause more destruction than good, whether that was your intention or not. Believe it or not, the Shower Posse is still active in Jamaica and in the...
Hey, I told y'all, man. I told y'all these people love Dudus. Y'all think it's a game. Them love listen, Dudus get crazy love. I'm feel like some of my politicians them be jealous too. I feel like some of my politicians them be jealous of Dudus. The kind of love and respect with Dudus when I get from the people them. And can you imagine if Dudus this say, you know, say, me go switch to PMP. Everybody would have followed him, you know? The way the people in love Dudus, everybody would have followed him. That's how powerful Dudus was. But ladies and gentlemen, I have reached the end. I'm not going to play the other two videos. I'll do them short. Because Andrew going to start film show, you know. 1 o'clock, I believe. And I have been here almost 3 hours. You know. And I think this was a good stream. I learned a lot. And I'm sure you guys learned a lot as well. You know, we dispelled a lot of these narratives about PMP being violent. I mean, Virgin, just look to Dudus' father and look no further. Look at the Shower Posse and what they did in America and in Jamaica. Look at how much PMP people died in the 80s. And we don't have to go any further. Yes, it is alleged that Tickman wanted to switch in Spanish Town and you know, it led to him being expired. That is what the street is saying. Everybody is talking about. That's why I say when Babsy come and talk about say PMP is violent, I say, Babsy, your name in the street not good. Stop it. Just don't say nothing. Don't talk about PMP violent. Because nobody in our street now say that. The amount of things them do for aggravate the PMP people them for them get violent. And them a hold it like a G. All I posters them with them take down. Everything with them do. We know who the aggressors are. And it's always been the Jamaica Labour Party. Always. You understand what I say? And it's interesting this story about Coke, you know, because him come from Rima side, and him get shot. Them say I don't know who it is, and the JLP people them over Tivoli put him, fix him up, and him dey live. But the people in him side. So at that point now, him have a himself, him have a what I say now. It's funny how the PMP and the JLP is intertwined historically, politically from the beginning. Wasn't it two cousins? It's like, well, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to ever be free and elevate the mind and liberate the mind from the tribalism of it all. But there has been a tribalistic energy with the PMP and the JLP from the onset, from the beginning, and many lives have been lost. And listen, this is what I believe. I believe I should have the freedom of speech to speak about what I believe in, and you don't have to agree, but I should have that freedom, and you can speak. We can argue. We can argue vehemently, but it should not lead to blows. It should not lead to somebody want to take your life and them something there. Alright? Patricia said, Dudus a good youth. My two daughters leave America, go to Tivoli dance, and them and Dudus sit down and talk, and them say he always protect them too. May I tell you, him have good things about him, people love him. I will about good things me about Dudus. I tell you, a whole heap of youth me know, whole heap of hustler me know. You understand me? I say whole heap of big man me know. We are entrepreneur in the streets. You understand? But tell me, boy, Dudus. The man say, yo, the man is such a simple man. It's a man, you would never believe see him are the man. Then tell me, alright, you see when Dudus get extradited, I first time you see Dudus picture now. First time I see Dudus picture, I will see when he get extradited. And even when you look at him there, so you can see humility. Look how man walk. Look how man walk easy and us. You know? You can see in body language. It's not a man where you see me I deal with, you know, show that side there. If him have that side there too much. Him very intelligent. Very intelligent. Alright? So the people, boy, I don't know if we have a change as a country, but at the end of the day, the people, they are the ones that will decide what they want for them. Right? And I don't want this tribalistic thing to come back in Jamaica. And if there's remnants of it, we don't need it. We really don't need it. Alright, the Jamaican people need to unite and a time for build. We need to be neighborly. You feel me I say? We help out each other for grow and build, support each other. Right? That is me. Me no want no a good vibes alone. You see me? Good vibes alone. We say him spoil them bad. Did. Wagwan Celine. Yes, hey, me I tell you man. Me I tell you man. Me I tell you. You know. Big up all live vlogger them. I just want to say this. You know. I am not looking for a spot. I'm not looking to be number one. You know, I just going to play my role and my part. I've always had the mentality that the pie is big enough for everybody. Karen, how are you doing? I've always held the mentality that the pie is big enough for everybody. And I'm gonna share with you guys just how I demonstrated that. And for the people like Ryan Campbell, if you're still here, let me know. Maintenance Kid, if you're still here, let me know. Sassy81, if you're still here, let me know. These people are day ones on this platform that I just mentioned. There's others, but I don't know if they're watching and if they're not typing. But I'm going to show you just how much I look at things in abundance and not lack. And life is all about mindset. Bolo VNR, that channel was the first channel. I was encouraged by these people in that sector. KB supported me. Kwame Brown, Bus Life, Dam D, Pastor, alright, Double Speaks, you understand, supported me. A lot of people, a lot of other, content creators over there supported me, encouraged me. Some was closer to the thing more than others, obviously, because that's the nature of things, right? And I decided to start my platform, and it was mostly about the sector and stuff I would react to. But my passion was more about unifying our people and, everybody realizing their full potential, right? It's not everybody is a Usain Bolt, all right? And that's not a knock on the person. If you're in racing and you're not Usain Bolt, you're just not Usain Bolt, right? Focus on who you are, focus on what you bring to the table, and find your audience. So for me, I got a lot of love over there, but what I had to offer, they don't like it that much. They like the beef and the stuff like that, right? So what I was doing was not resonating with them, and that was okay, not to a level. So I never got certain types of support. And I'm not knocking anybody. I just understood what it was. There's a pecking order. And I was not on a certain level of that pecking order. Likability, and it's all about who we like, is a positive and a negative thing. You feel me? So there's people in this sector here in Jamaica that some people like more than other vloggers, and I personally understand that. You get me? I came over here to search for my audience that appreciates me and supports me consistently. So if that means that I am going to have 100 persons in the chat, right? I'm going to make it work with 100 persons. That's 100 different families. I'm going to play my part until it's time. Maybe there's something about me that I need to grow more in terms of my delivery, so I can have 1,000 people in the chat. Maybe it's just going to take time, whatever the case might be. Maybe I am doing something that YouTube doesn't. I'm just saying, I've always looked within. I've never tried to. I'm not jealous of anybody. I give everybody their flowers. From the first time in that sector up until now, I have always given everybody their flowers. I'm jealous of no one. I'm not afraid of hard work. I'm not afraid of putting in the work. Right? You have some people that has been in this sector, all the vloggers them. They have been doing it for years. They have been doing it for years. You understand? And I've just been here for what? How long may I do this? 1 year? 1 year may I do this? I'm very grateful for where I'm at. I am very grateful for where I'm at. And I'm going to continue to push the envelope to grow even further. You understand? I'm not trying to be the star of the show. I respect everybody's, contribution to the liberation of Jamaica. Because ultimately that's what I want. I want to see Jamaica liberated to the point where there's some bright youths out there that is not getting opportunities, right? Because we haven't put the right programs in place for them to grow, right? The only way we can have a better Jamaica is if we get people to be more productive. You know what them say, the devil make work for idle hands. Too much idle hands are in Jamaica, and that's why the crime and violence is so high. You understand? And then, we have to put that at the center of things. I know I'm babbling, but I'm just saying, I respect everybody's effort. And I'm just here trying to do my part. I am jealous. I personally, I am jealous of no one at all. Nobody. I cannot tell anybody how to feel about me, but I just want to express that I'm literally very genuine about that. You understand? I want to see everybody grow to their full potential, and I'm happy for people when they reach milestones. Genuinely happy for them. You know why? Because when I reach my milestones, I want the same to be reciprocated to me. I want people to be happy for me when I reach milestones. You understand? I want people to be happy. And furthermore, I lean on the shoulders of many of you guys. I lean on the shoulders of Mr. Lonesome, Andre Stevens, Mystic Sensation, Aromatic TV, ABR News TV, Talk Your Mind TV, Hot Off of the Press, Jamaica Carlos. So many of you guys. I lean on the shoulders of you guys in terms of this political conversation that we're having. Right? I lean on your shoulders. Portland Spice TV. You name it. Right? BOJ. Lasanic Reed. You know what I say? World Rhyme TV. I lean on the shoulders. Right? So I see myself as a part of a larger body, and I learn from you guys. You guys teach me a lot. Isaac Buchanan, I'm subscribed. Man's a politician, but he does work on social media as well. And so we can learn and give context to things. Right? So many. Big up Splash Digi anyway I'm there. If you guys are not yet subscribed, make sure to go subscribe to Splash Digi. Seeing? There's just, I don't think we should have any, we have to keep our eye on the prize. I think we have to keep our eye on the prize. We need unity. Unity is strength. Do not let the devil creep in. You understand? Do not let the devil creep in. I can't tell anybody what to do, but it's not the time to isolate. Right? It's not the time to isolate. We have to support each other. We have to support each other. Unity. It's time for unity, man. Time come, man. You think say when PMP win, the work are gonna stop. At that time the work are gonna start. That is the time when the work is going to start, ladies and gentlemen. You think that we're not going to face greater opposition? Hold on. You think we're not going to face greater opposition when they actually get into power? Yes, we're gonna face greater opposition. Thank you, Sassy. Appreciate your love. Thank you for the cash app. Right? Thank you so much. Hey, thank you. I really appreciate you. She says, for keep doing what you're doing. Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate you, darling. Right? You know? So, I just think we just need to unite, man. And we can be an example to the world, you know? Alright, there's so much, there's always eyes on Jamaica. Jamaica is like that diamond that is like, it's small, yes, but it shines so bright. And even in the negative, the people see it. It's amplified. Where the country is even shaped like a little diamond. You know what I'm... Sassy 81, I'm sorry. Thank you, Sassy 80. Me glad to say to on the here. I am always mixing up Sassy D's name with Sassy 81. Anytime I see Sassy D, I say Sassy 81. Because Sassy 81 was the first. And she named Sassy. Thank you, Sassy 81. Hey. I didn't even realize that I said that. Oh my God. Shout out to my two sassy ladies, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my two sassy ladies. And the two of them love me, you know. And I love them back. But yeah, I just think that we can achieve more if we unite. You know. I really do. I really do. I think we can achieve more if we unite. And Jamaica, we just need to go in another direction, in a positive direction, and be an example to the world. And I think we are not too small to do that. We're not too small. Yes, exactly. All sisters. Oh man. You know. It's just something that I saw last night. I don't want to call any name. I don't want to amplify it in that way, but I just want the message to be, you know, let us unite for the greater good. You know, let us unite for the greater good. Pat W, what's up, love? How are you? Let me see if there's anything else happening in this space before I log off. Let's check Twitter first. Let me refresh this. Integrity Commission. Oh, by the way, this evening is all about West Portland, ladies and gentlemen. 12 o'clock. You know, 12 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So I'll be live 7 p.m. this evening. 7 p.m. this evening, West Portland. You know, Isaac second that. You know, so she and Isaac are work together to take over all of Portland so they can give back Portland to the people of Portland and take it from the financial colonizers. Yes? That is the aim, that is the plan. You understand? It seems the PMP just posted something. What is this? The People's National Party is on firm view that tourism bill. Oh yes! Thank God. Lord have mercy. No, I have to cover this story. No, this serious. This need crowd. This actually need crowd. Wait a minute. This actually need crowd. There is a bill that Mark Golding has expressed some serious concerns about And I need to look into what those concerns are. Somebody sent it to me, you know. Mighty God of that. See it here, Lord have mercy, Father, thank you. You are so great. See it here now, let me get the link. And oh, no. That's the 14-year-old one. No, I don't want that. I want the other one. Right? It's the other one I want. Nora calling again. Nora, you know I'm live, right?
You live now?
Yes. When you were calling me, I was live. I called you back and I was not hearing anything.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Alright? Yeah, man. Alright. Where is it? Let me find it real quick. Ah, here it is. Here it is. So what did they do? Did they remove the article? Alright, even if they remove the article, I'm going to go here. Because there's some audio here. Yes. Let me go here. Let me share this with you guys. Andrea Hunter, you doing, love? Salute to you. Let me share this article with you. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the program. Welcome back to the space. If it's your first time here,
the 70-year-old,
and if you are returning, welcome as well. Now, the tourism bill. It says here that the tourism bill, the People's National Party is on the firm view that the tourism bill currently before Parliament requires further consideration, extensive consultation before it can be passed into law. Many Jamaicans who rent out their homes as Airbnb and other short-term accommodation stand to be significantly affected by this legislation. It is therefore essential that a fair and practical framework for regulating these facilities be carefully developed, ensuring that the rights and livelihood of ordinary Jamaicans are protected while maintaining the integrity and growth of our tourism sector. Jamaica time come, better life. Let us listen. People that own Airbnb stand to be affected by this legislation. Let us hear this. Why did it do that? Sure. My bad, y'all.
A new tourism framework was passed in Parliament yesterday, but it has triggered criticism from the opposition, who claim the legislation could harm small players in the industry, including Airbnb hosts. Raymond Morrison has the latest.
The 70-year-old Jamaica Tourist Board Act is being repealed and replaced, with the government arguing that the updated legislation brings the industry in line with the modern realities.
All tourist enterprises will now be required to be registered. Additionally, the following tourism enterprises must also obtain a license to operate from the Tourist Board. 1. Tourist accommodations. 2. Tourist attractions. 3. Domestic tour services. And 4. Ground transportation services. So, Mr. Speaker, the new pieces of legislation, therefore, will repeal the River Rafting Act of 1970 and the following regulations and orders.
Under the new bill, certain tourism-related businesses, including tour guides, craft traders, and places of interest, must be registered with the Jamaica Tourist Board. But the opposition says it could sweep up others too, including Airbnb hosts.
But to pass something like this is wrong, given how far-reaching the implications are. So I'm urging time for the consultation and for those who are being affected. I hear you saying you consult, but may I tell you, me know the majority of people who run Airbnb don't know nothing about this. At the first time them I hear about this. I could just call it plain. First time them I hear about this. Give it time, don't rush it. Don't create a liability and put people in a... No, you say it's not for Airbnb, but people who are operating what you call domestic tourism. They're caught within it.
Opposition leader Mark Golden also accused Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett of sidelining stakeholders and rushing the passing of the bill.
I note the definition of tourism accommodation, and it means any facility or premises offering lodging or sleeping accommodation to any tourist or domestic tourist for hire or reward of any kind, including and it says a villa or an apartment, for example. So clearly, this would encompass what we describe as the Airbnb type accommodation. And certain consequences of matters arise from this, because it is bringing within the scope of this regulatory regime what we know has evolved to be a major part of the tourism industry. But are they ready to be regulated in this way?
But
alright, I find the clip so I can put it in an OBS. This is very, very serious, ladies and gentlemen. I am so happy. I am so happy that I remember this article. I was supposed to do a video
about
this.
A new tourism bill aimed at modernizing Jamaica's tourism framework was passed in Parliament yesterday, but it has triggered criticism from the opposition, who claim the legislation could harm small players in the industry, including Airbnb hosts. Raymond Morrison has the latest.
The 70-year-old Jamaica Tourist Board Act is being repealed and replaced, with the government arguing that the updated legislation brings the industry in line with the modern realities.
All tourist enterprises will now be required to be registered. Additionally, the following tourism enterprises must also obtain a license to operate from the Tourist Board. 1. Tourist accommodations. 2. Tourist attractions. 3. Domestic tour services. And 4. Ground transportation services. So, Mr. Speaker, the new pieces of legislation, therefore, will repeal the River Rafting Act of 1970 and the following regulations and orders.
Under the new bill, certain tourism-related businesses, including tour guides, craft traders, and places of interest, must be registered with the Jamaica Tourist Board. But the opposition says it could sweep up others too, including Airbnb hosts.
But to pass something like this is wrong, given how far-reaching the implications are. So I'm urging time for the consultation, and for those who are being affected. I hear you saying you consult, but may I tell you, me know the majority of people who run Airbnb don't know nothing about this. Or the first time them I hear about this. I could just call it plain. First time them I hear about this. Give it time, don't rush it. Don't create a liability and put people in a... No, you say it's not for Airbnb, but people who are operating what you call domestic tourism. They're caught within it.
Opposition leader.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you guys realize what is happening here, right? If you haven't, let me explain to you. The language of the legislation is not clear, and it has implications that might affect, the small business owners. And, this specific government is notorious for doing this. Passing legislation that they have not, really looked over properly. And thank God for the PMP, thank God for Mark Golden, that is a lawyer, and a damn good one. Thank God for the team of lawyers that are over there in the PMP that has not lost a case against the JLP. I don't know why they don't listen to them, right? Because it's this government, the reputation of the Jamaica Labour Party has always been to fatten the pockets of the wealthy, always, and disenfranchise the poor people, That is their reputation in the street, Apart from the badmanism and the bullyism, that has always been their reputation. Clean out the small man competition. Let us see if they are going to listen to the PMP, or let us see if they are going to continue to pass this bill and run it through and rush it. Just like how they did the NITS and was taken to court and lost in court because of the same things that they were being warned about. Am I surprised? Are you surprised? Man, listen, these guys is something else, man. These guys is something else. I'm trying to tell you.
Mark Golden also accused Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett of sidelining stakeholders and rushing the passing of the bill.
I note the definition of tourism accommodation, and it means any facility or premises offering lodging or sleeping accommodation to any tourist or domestic tourist for hire or reward of any kind, including and it says a villa or an apartment, for example. So clearly, this would encompass what we describe as the Airbnb type accommodation. And certain consequences or matters arise from this, because it is bringing within the scope of this regulatory regime what we know has evolved to be a major part of the tourism industry. But are they ready to be regulated in this way?
But Minister Bartlett dismissed the claims, insisting that the bill is not designed to target Airbnb hosts.
Focus has been on Airbnb, and it's unfair to say that simply because Airbnb is not unstructured. Airbnb operates on platforms that are highly structured, for which certain requirements are made, for which they must comply, failing which they will never be on those platforms. So within its own self, there is that regulatory. And the discussions are not about them and rates per se. The discussion is about how do we ensure destination assurance.
Minister Bartlett went on to explain that the new legislation marks a step towards greater accountability in structuring the tourism sector. But the opposition insists more consultation is needed. The tourism minister agreed to suspend the debate to allow for a broader consensus. Raymond Morrison, CVM News.
Okay, so he's suspending the debate for broader consensus. Thank God. Thank God, because when you see Julian Robinson, this adamant, it's serious. Alright? Listen to Julian Robinson right here, sir. This man does not shout. Alright? Yeah.
Airbnb hosts.
But to pass something like this is wrong, given how far-reaching the implications are.
Yes.
I'm urging time for the consultation and for those who are being affected. I hear you saying you consult, but may I tell you, me know the majority of people who run Airbnb don't know nothing about this.
You hear that?
First time them I hear about this.
Facts.
I could just call it plain. First time them I hear about this. Give it time. Don't rush it. Don't create a liability and put people in a... No, you say it's not for Airbnb, but people who are operating what you call domestic tourism.
Yes.
They're caught within it.
Yes.
Opposition leader Mark Golden also accused tourism minister.
You know, that is a telltale sign for me of how serious these implications are when you see Julian Robinson. That man is not a capper. No capping. There's no capping in Julian Robinson. He's a very serious and stern individual. I don't know, but I don't know if you guys really pay attention to these people and their mannerisms. But I don't know Mr. Julian Robinson personally. But I'm telling you, based off his how he carries himself, he's not a capper. This is a serious problem. So I am happy. And I just reached out to a fisherman, Regina mine. Yesterday, he was saying some things about their licensing and how they are fined and certain laws and stuff, and how he can't wait to see Fly Green because them need to stop neglecting the fisherman them. I mean, I tell you, say, I am going to interview that brother when him have time, you know. He's a hard working brother, you know, them go see and them go bush a farmer same way. So I'm going to interview him and let him tell us what is really going on, some of its challenges, I want you. I'm going to promote that interview because I need the People's National Party, not just the JLP. I need them. The concerns that he have is long time concerns. You get me? And it's the same legislation and policy issues that is affecting them in a negative way. You remember the allegations against the guy named Robertson in St. Thomas, where they come out to the onions and his storage facilities? Well, let me just say that in terms of in fishery, in a certain type of what you call it, produce, I suspect a similar thing is happening, where the persons that actually go and get the stuff, they don't yield a lot of profit from it. And there's heavy sanctions to make sure that they don't go outside of the law of it. Well, you know, the people that make the law is the ones that break the law and never get charged for breaking it. Yes. That's why we need people in office that are people of integrity and that are ones that want to build a framework for integrity to make sure that the ones that come after don't play the same games and just continue the corruption and bleed us dry. We the people, the regular folks that is trying to build our own enterprises. Right? So let me know what you guys think about the concerns of the People's National Party in regards to this new bill about you know, the Airbnbs and tourism and this license. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, and subscribe. And I push back my video that was supposed to be premiered at 2:15 p.m. I pushed it back to 3:15 p.m. Alright? So you guys can check that out. I also have a video that I posted this morning about Dennis Chung. Yes, and also Christopher Tucker as well. So you guys can go check out those premieres if you have not already. Again, thank you all for your continued support. Always like, share, and subscribe. Alright? Have yourselves a blessed evening, or day, or morning, wherever you are in the world. The world is love. See y'all later. 7 p.m. Alright? 7 p.m. Live. We're gonna stream the West Portland. 7 p.m. Have yourself a great day, Nora. And Sassy 81, Sassy D, all the sasses out there. And guys, remember to follow me on Bolo TBV. I want to transfer my live stream efforts over there, alright? From here. So, follow me on Bolo TBV. I want to lessen my workload on this platform. You know, maybe that's why people are not getting the notifications. So what I want to do over Bolo TBV is when I go live over there and cover this stuff, record them, and put out one video a day that is premiered over there. And over here, I'm going to put out some premiere videos on the political topic still that I would record over there. And of course, Bolo VNR clips will have some exclusives as well. And Bolo VNR, I'm looking to continue to put throwback videos over there, but also to touch on some international topics, right, from time to time over there. So I'm trying to mix up things and structure it in a way. I hope you guys appreciate what I do, because man, it is a lot of work. You guys have a wonderful day. Peace and blessings. In
And thanks for your continued support. Sassy81, thank you for the donation. Yeah.